City Subway, Weeks Chrysler Dodge Jeep Chevy Polaris and Victory in Benton, U.S. Bank, Martin's Restaurant and Catering, Kimmel Chaplin Pharmacy, Mr. D's Drive-In, SCD Ray & Sons Insurance Agency in Benton, Jesse Drew Rockin' Material, Dr. Simpson DDS in Benton, Wilkins Auto Body, All Stars and Stitches, Drew and Drew Attorneys, Skibo Family Eye Care, Tim Millenbein at Edward Jones, Benton Junior Football Association, and Ren Lake College. Now, let's head out to the field and every action-packed play of Rangers football. Here's the voice of the Benton Rangers, Jim Muir and Justin Wyant.
A very pleasant good evening from the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex in Herrin, and welcome to Benton Ranger football action right here on WQRL. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. I'm Jim Muir. I'll be bringing you the play-by-play action as the Rangers meet the Herrin Tigers. This is a Southern Illinois river-to-river Ohio division matchup, and we are in Week 4 action. This pregame show tonight being brought to you by your Benton West City Subway. It's September at your Benton West City Subway. The Italian BMT is this month's featured $5 footlong, and Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki is the $3 6-inch select. Celebrate September at the Benton West City Subway at the Ren Lake Plaza. That's Benton West City Subway. They bring you Benton Ranger football pregame action here on WQRL. The Rangers enter this game tonight with a record of 1-2. Benton, coached by Jeremy Clodfelder in his 8th year at the Rangers as the Rangers head coach. The Herrin Tigers are coached by Jason Carnes. He's in his 9th year at Herrin. They have a record of 2-1 heading in. This is the first Ohio Division matchup for both of these teams tonight. I'm joined tonight again by Justin Wyant and Travis Severin in our pregame show. I'm going to start with Justin. And Justin, certainly we look at things on paper. You come in here tonight, Herrin, the preseason pick in the Ohio, Herrin coming off a big win, the Rangers coming off a tough loss. But we've talked about it on the way down here. We talked about it before we went on the air. This is high school football. The Rangers have a game plan, and you got to feel like Benton has come in here with to prove a point tonight and try and correct some of the things that have plagued them through the first couple weeks of the season.
Yeah, you're once again, we're talking about high school kids here. Anything can happen on any given Friday night. You're not in the NFL, okay? You got to come out here and play these games. You can't play them on paper. I don't care what the newspaper says. I don't care what Twitter says. I don't care who's writing what on Facebook. You got to come out here and you got to play these games. Benton can beat anybody on their schedule, but then again, they can turn around and get beat by anybody either. You have to show up and play. Hey, it's division, it's the Ohio Division time, and you got to strap it up each and every Friday night now.
And Travis Severin alongside Travis, when you look at this matchup, certainly Benton and Herrin have had some classic matchups in the years past, and the Rangers come in here kind of with an attitude of nothing to lose and everything to gain in a matchup like this.
Oh yeah, I mean everything to gain in a game like this. Let's face it, the prognosticators all over Southern Illinois have already written this game down as a W for the Tigers right now. So let's face it, Herrin's loaded. I mean they've got tons of good players. If you look at their stats, the guy just brought us their stats. I mean, look down through there. I mean, you've got 300 yards from Merrill. Milner's over 240. Ghosh is almost 200 yards. So they're loaded for bear. But just like people say, this is why you play the game. This is why you strap it up. The Rangers have had success against Herrin in the past. They were able to knock them off 2 years ago down here. So, I mean, you never know. I mean, yes, this Herrin team is loaded. The Rangers are still short a player. But that's why they go out there. This is why it's conference football play, and that's why in 14 minutes they're going to play high school football.
And Travis, probably let me go back to Justin. I had a chance to hook up this week with Benton coach Jeremy Clodfelder, and certainly his comments going in, he said, "Hey, we're going down there with a game plan. We're going down there to make them know we've been there." And you certainly got to like his attitude that he has tried to instill in his team this week.
Yeah, you got to have a great game plan when you're playing a team stacked like Herrin is. Of course, they were preseason picked to win the conference. They're coming in with a ton of confidence. Travis, you were down on the sidelines a little earlier, and you said the confidence that exudes from that football team is unbelievable. And, of course, we've had our moments in the sun just the same way. You go into games feeling like you're going to dominate, and that's the way you have to be. You have to walk in with a little bit of swagger, with your chest sticking out a little bit, like you're going to win the game because you're playing football now. You're going out here for a war, and you've got to take care of business.
They're ticked off. They're not 3-0. I mean, they were up that game big time on Waterloo, and Coach Carnes said they had a couple drives, didn't go anywhere. Waterloo, had a miraculous 2 touchdowns the last 4 minutes of the game. He said he feels like his team got better after that. If you look on paper, what they've done since they lost that game, guys, I mean, you know what they say, numbers never lie. The scoreboard doesn't lie, and the Tigers have put the points on the board. All of us have talked this week that we've got to hope that the Rangers have a good game plan, and Brent Johnson just said, he and I, big Notre Dame fans, we're always talking football. He said, Seb, we're going to sling it around. We're going to sling the rock tonight. Yeah.
I want to remind you again that our pregame show tonight being brought to you by your Benton West City Subway located at the Wren Lake Plaza. Your Benton West City Subway is all about finding the freshest veggies. You'll find a cool, crisp rainbow of flavor that will be the perfect partner for your taste buds. From spinach to jalapenos, tomatoes to cucumbers, and much more. Get your veggie on at your Benton West City Subway. I had a chance to connect with Benton coach Jeremy Clawfelder this week, get his thoughts on tonight's matchup. Let's get a quick break in. We'll come back to the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex with Benton coach Jeremy Clawfelder back in a moment.
At Subway, we're seriously into veggies, just like you. So we get right to work every morning, selecting the best ones, rinsing, slicing. With this cool, crisp, colorful rainbow, your sandwich comes to life before your very eyes. A one-of-a-kind creation just bursting with flavor. We're all about finding unique veggies. And not just the expected, all kinds, like spinach and red onions. So come in and get your veggie on at Subway.
If you want a huge selection without a huge price, get to Weeks in Benton for the model year-end clearance event going on now. 2015s are arriving daily, so we must move all remaining 2014s. Find the vehicle you want at a price you can afford with 7 brands to choose from. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Polaris, and Victory motorcycles. Now is definitely the time to buy, as there will be huge deals on all 2014 models. That's Weeks in Benton, north of town but south on the price. Back to Benton Ranger football on Q106.
Welcome back to the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex in Herrin for our coaches report brought to you on our Benton West City Subway pregame show. We are joined now by Benton Ranger head football coach Jeremy Clawfelder. And Jeremy, before we talk about tonight's Ohio Division opener in Week 4 against the Herrin Tigers, let's go back a week, look at the Rangers' 28-0 loss to an undefeated Pinckneyville team. It was another game with a missed golden opportunity early, and then things kind of spiraled downward. In the post-game interview last week following that loss, you talked about technique, effort, and the youth of your team. Let's start with a two-part question. First, how have you approached this week heading into Herrin to face the preseason Ohio Division favorite, and how has your young team responded?
Well, the first one is a great question. We just approached the week that we need to get ready to go play another game. We need to go back to fundamentals and technique and learn to be good and great at doing the things that have made us successful in the past. In terms of the week, right now, obviously we're going to be a heavy underdog coming into this game, but the key for our kids is not to flinch and not to be intimidated by the atmosphere nor the team that we're playing. Our goal for the week is to make them feel us. Whatever that means, our kids want to come out, they want to play hard. We're asking them to play the game recklessly and to just kind of pin their ears back and have a little fun tonight and let it rip.
It's not going to be a secret if Herrin holds true what they've done so far this year, what they're going to do tonight. They're going to come in and run the ball, and they're going to run the ball some more. Tell us what you see in the Herrin Tigers. They sit at 3-1 heading into Ohio Division play.
Well, they're a really nice football team. You got to give your credit where credit's due, and they're big, they're strong, they're physical. Their running backs are very much downhill. Even when they run toss to the edge, their backs are running it downhill. I think the most impressive part is not necessarily their offensive line. While I think it's big and good, I think it's the way the running backs block for each other and the way they run so physical. I think that's the most impressive part about them. So, I'm not saying they won't throw it. I'm not saying they won't try to do some different things. Maybe we got to force them to try and do some different things, but you're exactly right. They're going to line up. They're going to try and establish the run early and try and run it right at us.
Talk about doing different things. Any changes in the game plan for the Rangers heading in this week?
I think we're going to be a little bit more reckless. We've asked our kids to be a little reckless, and you go into games like this, the old adage is you have nothing to lose. Well, I don't always necessarily agree with that. I think sometimes you got to go out. You got to have a pride and a purpose, and you can't have the attitude of we have nothing to lose. There's a game out there that you could lose tonight, but we're going to play a little free will, and I hope a little free spirited and reckless to a certain degree. I want our kids to play with a confidence and an edge, and we may deal this thing around. And I'll tell you what, we won't be known as. We won't be known as the group that didn't come in with a plan. We're going to give our kids the absolute best opportunity to be successful. We're going to develop a plan and work hard for them, and hopefully we'll come in and execute the game. And we may throw it around a bunch. We'll see what they're giving us early, but the key is to not flinch, come out and have fun playing the game.
What do you see as the keys? What do the Rangers have to do, both sides of the football tonight, to pull the upset here and move to 2-2 on the season?
Well, one thing that I think gets overlooked by them is they're very talented in the special team phase of the game. So we have to be disciplined in the special team phase, not give up some big plays. They returned 2 big long punts last week for 81 and 65 yards. They've got a tremendous kicker who I think when you turn your TVs on in a couple of years on Saturday afternoons, he'll be kicking big time in college football. So we've got to be really disciplined in the special team phase. But also offensively for us, I think we got to make some plays. I think we got to relax. We got to kind of just, like I said, we got to kind of be freewheeling and have a good time and play with some confidence. And we got to protect the passer, no question about it. We've got to hit some runs here and there when we get them dropping, but I think we're going to have to throw it around a little bit and make some plays. We've got to play pitch and catch. And defensively, I don't know that you stop them. I don't know that anybody will stop them, but I think it will be huge for us to at least get them in some second and longs, some third and longs, and maybe slow them down a little bit.
As we approach the midway point of the season, Jeremy, certainly everybody's banged up, nicked up a little bit. Health-wise, how are the Rangers heading into Week 4?
You know, I honestly think we're getting a little bit healthier. Clay Kelly seems to be running around on his ankle a little bit better. He's kind of been bummed up for a couple of weeks, but he seems to be getting around a little bit better. Normal Week 4 things, we're still without Mark for a week. The hamstring's still affecting him, but aside from him, I think we've even started to get a little bit healthier compared to where we were Week 1.
Coach, good luck to you and the Rangers as you head into Ohio Division play.
Appreciate it, Jim. Thanks.
That's Benton coach Jeremy Clodfelder on our pregame coaches report. Exciting Benton Ranger football action is straight ahead here on WQRL. Back for more of our Benton West City Subway pregame show following these very important messages.
You wouldn't go out in a rainstorm without an umbrella. Don't get caught without the right insurance coverages either. When you have an accident or something else unexpected, the last thing you need to worry about is whether you have the right insurance coverages for your specific needs. Call SCD Ray & Sons Insurance Agency in Benton, your professional Pekin agency, for a comprehensive review of your present policies. Be prepared to weather life's unexpected storms. Call SCD Ray & Sons Insurance Agency in Benton at 439-7557 for complete insurance coverages from Pekin Insurance at reasonable rates and with beyond the expected service.
Everyone has a lunch special, but what's special about it? At Mr. D's, you get great food at the best price, like the burger combo. A hearty, tasty burger, fries, and a drink for only $4.39. That's right, less than $5 for a full meal. Now that's special. Mr. D's has all of your favorites, from chicken strips with gravy to chili dogs to savory barbecue, even a tilapia fish sandwich. Wash it down with your favorite drink like a blueberry Mountain Dew or a milkshake or ice-cold Pepsi. Try an ice cream cone for dessert. Mr. D's Drive-In on North Main, Benton. Back to Benton Rangers football on your high school sports connection, Q106.
Welcome back to the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex here in Herrin. Benton Ranger football action here on WQRL. And again, glad to have you alongside with us tonight here for Ranger football. Justin Wyant alongside Travis Severin heading down to the sideline. He'll have Bob Pankey, Benton defensive coordinator, here in just a few minutes. Justin, while we got a minute, you heard Coach Clodfelder talk. You've had a chance to talk with him. You've looked at this Herrin team. We've talked with the folks this week. Your thoughts on the keys to this game?
Well, a couple things that I want to point out. I think you got to have some consistency on offense. I think in the Carterville loss and the Pinckneyville loss, we moved the ball well between the 30-yard lines, but something happened here or there that caused the drives to stall. We left some points on the board. I think in a game like this, in a game like Carterville and Pinckneyville, obviously you've got to have those points, knowing what we know now, but it's the same thing here tonight. You can't leave points on the field if you're going to hang with a team like Herrin. And another thing, if you can sustain drives, you keep their offense off the field. So it's kind of like the Pinckneyville thing. They got the ball and they just marched it, put points on the board because we couldn't. You keep them off the field, that's a great thing. Your defense, they've got to play big. We know they're physically not huge, but, heart goes a long way in this game. If you've got the heart, if you've got the want and the will to do it, it goes a long way. You've got to tackle good against these great running backs that Herrin has. And you got to wrap up and get guys on the ground. Coach said it. He wants to sling the ball around a little bit, spread these guys out. But you know what? I don't think it's going to be a big time score fest. I think it's going to be 20 something to mid teens, maybe one team either way. I don't know, but I just look for the game to slow down and the running games to try to kick in. And keys to the game on Friday nights are brought to you by Heartland Office Supply in Benton. Heartland Office Supply is your one-stop shopping spot for all your office supply needs: inkjet cartridges, toner for copiers, file folders, envelopes, and custom order stamps. Heartland Office Supply has it all. Visit them online at heartlandofficesupply.com or give the good folks at Heartland a call at 618-435-4264. That's Heartland Office Supply, located at 111 East Lawrence Street in Benton, bringing you our keys to the game.
And also, Justin, another thing, I think what you hear Coach Clodfelder saying, we talk about it on the offensive side. He wants to put Herrin in some what he called uncomfortable positions, right. As far as second and long, third and long, and not let them get 7-8 yards on first down where they've got options to do things. He wants to try and force them to throw the football some, try and take the running backs out of the game. So you expect to see Benton stack the line of scrimmage on defense. On offense, he's going to try and I think he's made no secret. He's going to try and throw the football.
Sure. Like you said, put them in uncomfortable spots. I've talked about that before. You get a team that likes to run the ball, control the clock. You get them in third and long situations. We look back at Pinckneyville. They threw, 5 times, and they threw 2 of them to our players. So that's what you want as a defense. You want to put teams in situations they don't like to be in. Herrin doesn't like to be in those third and long, second and longs. They want to be able to run the ball, control the clock, control the tempo, control the line of scrimmage, and that's just what they do well.
The Rangers at 1-2, and Herrin at 2-1. And for all intent and purpose, Herrin probably should be 3-0 heading into this game. They had Waterloo down 21-0 at halftime and let that game get away in the second half and lost 28-27. And then they laid a beat down on Carbondale in week 2, and then they hammered DuQuoin last week. 56-8 was the final in that game last week against DuQuoin. So Herrin clearly the real deal. They've got the 3 running backs in Milner and Merrill and Gosha, and Benton wants to try and stop that running game, and to do that, they believe they've got to try and stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop the run at the line of scrimmage and make Herrin do some things they're not comfortable doing. So if Benton can do that, I think that will be, as you said, that will be the telltale sign of the game right there.
And we come in here and everybody's talking, I think Herrin wants to throw the ball a little bit tonight. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they want to do what they do well, and that's run the football. And I just got confirmation from Travis Severin. I think he's ready with Bob Pankey.
Travis?
Yes, guys, I'm down here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm down here with Bob Pankey, the head defensive coordinator for the Benton Ranger football team. Bob, getting ready to take on the Herrin Tigers. We're going into week 4. Conference play starts tonight. Give me your thoughts on this tilt.
Well, obviously everybody knows that Herrin's got a great running game. They got the 2 running backs that are probably 2 of the best in Southern Illinois that everybody's heard of, and I'm sure they're full of confidence tonight. But here's the deal for us tonight, and we've been preaching this to our kids all week long. This is a great opportunity for us. We just got to stand up in the moment, rise up to the occasion. It's a great opportunity to play a state-ranked team. You don't get very many opportunities to do that. And so tonight, my hope is we rise to the occasion.
Defensive philosophy, anything you do different tonight that you didn't do against Pinckneyville?
We move a couple pieces around a little bit of a defensive front look because they're going to be in double tight wishbone quite a bit, we think. And so we'll be in a 6-man front some and then kind of make adjustments from there if we need to.
Defensively, how important is it in this game when you've got an explosive offense that put up 56 points last week against a DuQuoin team to come out and get some stops early?
It's absolutely critical. I'm sure, again, they're full of confidence. They're going to try to come out and ram it right up our throat, and it's no secret that we've had some trouble, at least in a couple of games this year, of defending the run. And so we have to come out and just be physical. And again, that's what we've been preaching to the kids all week. It's their choice. They've got to choose to be physical tonight. And if we will be physical, it's going to help us out a ton. Coach, thanks so much. Okay, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. You heard him right there, Coach Bob Pankey, the defensive coordinator for the Benton Rangers, said it, guys. You got to be physical. Coach said you got to be physical. I can tell you right now, Talking Defense is brought to you by Whittington Church. They bring us our report each week with defensive coordinator Bob Pankey right here on Benton Ranger Football. Whittington Church knows the importance of teamwork, and they encourage you to be a part of a winning team at one of the many fine churches in our area. That's Whittington Church. Wishing a successful season to the Rangers and all the teams in our area. And J&J, Jim and Justin, I think we talked about it on the way over. Pankey just said it. Coach Claude Sutter said it. They got to be physical tonight, guys.
And, Travis, we want to encourage our listeners again. You'll be anchoring the fifth quarter program just a little later on tonight.
Yeah, look forward to it. Look forward to doing the fifth quarter. Had a lot of fun last week, and I better be quiet because it's time for America.
Very good. It's time for our national anthem. With that, we're going to get a quick break in. We'll come back to Herrin, the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex, and Ranger football here on WQRL back after these messages.
The Benton Junior Football Association would like to thank the following businesses for their support: Wyant Surveying, Abbott's 24-Hour Towing, Hobbs Services, Kurt Irwin Construction, AP Excavating, State Bank of Whittington, Q106, Pop's Barbecue, Positive Impressions, Midwest Excavating, Bit Brokers International, Aikens Auto Salvage, RLC Bit Service, Mid-Country Bank, and Gajewski Bulldozing. The Benton Junior Football Association thanks you for your support.
When it's time to make sure your teeth are in healthy condition, call Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton to schedule your appointment or your child's appointment. Regular cleaning and checkups are part of maintaining your teeth for a comfortable, healthy smile. And if you're looking to brighten your smile, Dr. Simpson offers whitening too. When your teeth need cleaning, filling, crowns, bridge work, whitening, and more, call Dr. Simpson to make an appointment. 439-4364. That's 439-4364 for Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton.
Hey, this is Coach Herrin. If you need screen printing, embroidery, plaques, or trophies, give the big man, Big Dave, a call at All Stars and Stitches in Benton, Illinois, 435-555-555.
All Stars and Stitches located at 418 East Main Street here in Benton. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. Our regular hours are Monday through Friday from 10 to 5. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. What was that number again, Coach?
435-555-555.
Back to Benton Ranger football on Q106.
Welcome back to Herrin, to the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex with Justin Wyant. I'm Jim Muir, Ranger football. Momentarily away here tonight. The Rangers at 1-2, Herrin at 2-1. Justin Wyant alongside. Justin, give us the starting lineup for the Benton Rangers tonight.
Defensive side of the ball first. At our defensive ends, it's going to be Cruz Hayes, number 22, Clay Kelly, number 34. At tackles, it'll be Dustin Minton, 77, and Jeremy Clements, 73. Your guard is going to be Josh Goodwin at number 66. Linebackers tonight, Peyton Smith, 32, Tristan Swagonski, 21, and Jordan Kulik, 31. Defensive backs are Trey McDaniel, number 1, Cole Richardson, number 2, and Chase Owens, number 4. On the offensive side of the ball for the Rangers, your ends are Trey McDaniel, Cruz Hayes, and Cole Richardson. Tackles are Ben Pankey and Bryden Picklesheimer. Your guards are Raymond Smothers, Trevor Johnson, and your center is Devin Sieveking. Your running backs are Clay Kelly, 34, and Jordan Kulik, 31. And quarterbacking the Rangers tonight, Caleb Rock, number 3, in his 4th career start for the Rangers. And, of course, our starting lineups are brought to you by Martin's Restaurant and Catering, located at 412 East Main Street in Benton. Martin's Restaurant and Catering is a longtime sponsor of Benton Rangers and Rangerette Athletics. Stop by and visit Bob Martin and his fine staff and check out their daily lunch specials and those very good homemade pies. That's Martin's Restaurant and Catering. They bring you our starting lineups here in Week 4 action against the Herrin Tigers.
The Rangers are on the road tonight in their road uniforms, maroon pants, white jerseys trimmed out in maroon numerals and lettering, maroon helmets trimmed out in white lettering. The Herrin Tigers in their home uniforms, black uniforms trimmed out in orange and white numerals, black helmets trimmed out in orange. Herrin being introduced right now. The Rangers are already on the field, and this is a matchup, opening night play here in the River to River Conference, both Ohio and Mississippi, and also in the South 7 opening conference play tonight. So a lot of interesting matchups. We'll be following games from all around the area in the Ohio. Benton here at Herrin, Harrisburg at West Frankfort, Murphy at Massac. On the Mississippi side, Carterville at DuQuoin, Nashville at A.J., Pinckneyville at Sparta. In the Black Diamond Conference, El Dorado at Fulton City, Kentucky. Fairfield and Vienna will get after it tomorrow. Hamilton County at Chesterfield, Waltonville, Woodlawn tonight. J.C. at CZR tonight. And Chester at Carmi-White County, which might be one of the better games in the area. That's Chester, Carmi-White County. In the South 7, Centralia at Carbondale. Belleville Althoff at Mount Vernon, and Cahokia at Merriam. Don't forget the fifth quarter. We'll have scores for all of those games tonight on our fifth quarter program that'll be anchored by Travis Severin tonight. Back in the studio, Justin and I will join him as we roll in tonight, so keep that in mind. The fifth quarter comes your way immediately following Benton Ranger football here on WQRL. Jesse Van Orbeck is set to tee it up for the Rangers, and we're about set for action here, Justin.
Yeah, Herrin's going to get the football first here, so we're going to see what this offense is all about right off the bat. We're going to see what kind of adjustments our defense made after Pinckneyville kind of had their way with them last Friday night running the football. So this is, it's Ohio Division. You got to strap it up and play every Friday night. I'm excited. It'll be Chase Merrill and Gavin Gosha deep for the Herrin Tigers. And Jesse Van Orbeck squibs one up the middle of the field, fielded by one of the upbacks, and he'll take it down the middle of the field, and he may score. Finally brought down by Cole Richardson, but not before he gets into Benton territory, into the 43-yard line. So Herrin will start out in great field position in Benton territory, starting this game tonight.
About a 25-yard return on something he just kind of wanted. He was just covering up the ball and going up the field, expecting to get hit and knocked down and taking whatever he can get. He got 25 yards. So hopefully Benton's defense has gotten a little better since, coming off the loss last week. They're fast. They just got to get to the ball and make tackles.
Gavin Pickle is a quarterback, split backs. In a wishbone offense, it's going to be back to throw as Pickle. Wings it out, going for the home run ball. Got a man open and caught and out of bounds inside the 5-yard line, and so much for the run, defending the run. As Herrin comes out, winging it down the field. Talk about slinging it around.
Sure.
They take it down almost to the 5-yard line, pick up a 36 yards on the play, and it brings up a 1st and goal from the 7. That was to Josh Haynes. He'll be handling all the kicking chores tonight for the Herrin Tigers, and they have got things cooking here in the first 15 seconds of the game. 12 seconds in, Herrin with a 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Here's Pickle again from the shotgun. Split back. It's going to be a handoff to Goshen. He's going to be brought down for a loss, about a 3-yard loss in on that tackle for Benton.
Yep.
That was Dustin Minton in with some help by Josh Goodwin.
Absolutely great initial hit that time by the Rangers line, and that's what you got to have all night. You got to have that kind of pressure on the running backs and the quarterback. As soon as he hikes the ball, you got to have that initial push. You have to beat the offensive line to where they want to be.
2nd and goal from the 10 now. 2nd and goal from the 10. 3-yard loss on that play. Herrin will run out of that wishbone again. Pickle from the shotgun. Here's going to be a handoff to Merrill. Merrill keeps his legs running and scores. Merrill takes it in from 10 yards out. Chase Merrill took that one in and made it look pretty easy doing it. And Herrin's on the board first here, 59 seconds into the game. Herrin on the board with a score of 6-0, and Josh Haynes will try the point after.
Yeah, Merrill is a very well-built running back. He is built low to the ground. He's got huge legs, and he keeps them pumping the whole way through. That's why it is very crucial to get low, get underneath, and bring him down by the legs, because he is going to run you over if you don't.
Haynes will try the point after. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good, and plenty on that one as that goes out, hits near the backside of the all-weather track here at the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex. And while we've got a moment, Herrin leads at 7-0. We want to say a thank you to the fine administration here at Herrin High School. Mike Mooneyham's the athletic director, and particularly want to say a thank you to his wife, Amy. She's the one that brought the food in tonight. And so what a spread, though, and what a facility here, Justin. You and I have just given rave reviews. It's a unbelievable, beautiful high school facility.
Yeah, they do it right here now. This is how you treat people when you have guests in, and they do it exactly the way you're supposed to do it. And they feed you well. They have got great facilities up here. The air conditioning's on and all that good stuff. So, I mean, we got great stuff up here. We just hope the Rangers can take care of the business on the field.
And clearly, it's a facility that will rival, I would imagine, what you'll see at a lot of small colleges here at Herrin. Really, really impressive facility. Something you don't see at the high school level around here very often. And great hospitality to go with it. We were met down before just as we came in the gate, we were met by the folks, and here's where you need to go, here's what we got, here's what's on its way. If you need anything here, come and get us. So we really appreciate that. Josh Haynes will tee it up. Deep for Benton will be Jesse Van Orbeck. Here's the kick, and it is a dandy. It'll be fielded. That's going to be Stiles. He loses a handle on the ball, and it's going to be a touchback, and it'll bring it out to the 20. And that's that weapon in high school football. We saw it last week, Justin, where you can put that ball into the end zone and bring it on a touchback, bring the other team, the opposition, out to the 20-yard line. It's a totally different feel from there.
Well, let's look at the two offensive possessions for these teams to start the game. Herrin gets it on their own 46-yard line. Benton has to start on the 20 down here. So it's just a completely different ball game when you've got the Herrin started on the Benton side of the field. Now Benton's got to start on the Herrin 20. So it's just it's a huge weapon when you got a kid that can kick the ball like that on all facets of the special teams game.
Clay Kelly will be the single back. Rock out of the shotgun. Here's a pitch out to Kelly. Kelly trying to the outside, cuts back in, nothing doing. Loses a couple yards, going to lose yardage back to the 18. It'll bring up 2nd and 12 for the Rangers. They try to pitch out to Kelly, and he tried the near side of the field, and not much going on there. The Rangers are going to send wide outs.
Yeah, and we heard this week that Benton's going to spread the ball and probably sling it all over the place. So
McDaniel and Chase Owens near side. To the far side of the field will be Phillips. Back to throw is Rock, and he wings it out. Got a man.
Here we go.
And big yardage for the Rangers on a little reverse play. They countered. They faked it to the right side. On that catch was Cole Richardson, and he picks up yardage all the way down to the 42-yard line. A big gain for the Rangers, and that certainly is a great way to get this thing rolling, Justin.
Absolutely. Hit Richardson out of the backfield on a little play in the flat right there. Just a nice short pass, and Richardson, nobody around, missed assignment that time by the Herrin defense.
Rock from the shotgun. Clay Kelly back in the game. He's in the backfield. He's the single back. 2 wide out to each side for the Rangers. High snap. Here's Rock under pressure and going to go down. And a flag on the play. We'll see what that amounts to. Could be a face mask in there.
Could be. Could be a hold. Could be a number of things. Let's see. Holding. Benton. Declining it. Coach is declining, so it's going to be 2nd and about 14.
Officiating crew on the game tonight is Jared Knapp, also Ted Knapp, David Davis, Dick Dietz, and Randy Jenkins. And declined. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and about 16. We'll call it 2nd and 16, 6-yard loss on the play. So the Rangers facing 2nd and long, just underway. We've played about 2.5 minutes. Here's Rock under pressure. And he's going to be sacked and brought down hard back at the 25-yard line. And right now, the Herrin defense just converging on Rock. He has little time.
Yeah, and that's one thing we discussed. When we heard Benton was going to throw it around a little bit, we said to ourselves, you know what, you got to have a little blocking up front.
Yeah.
If you don't get blocking up front, this is what's going to happen right here. You got to give Caleb's a very good, smart quarterback with a good arm, but I don't care if you got Peyton Manning back there. If you give him a half a second to throw the ball, he's going to get sacked.
3rd down and a bunch. We'll just call it a bunch. 3rd and 27. All the way back to the 27-yard line. The Rangers have lost 19 yards the last 2 plays. Here's Rock back to throw. Got a man open. Going to be caught. And nice spin move there by Chase Owens, but going to be far short of the first down, and it'll bring up a fourth down in a punting situation for the Benton Rangers. Chase Owens made the catch, got it back out to the 37-yard line, but he was brought down. He had to get all the way across midfield to the 47-yard line, so a pickup of 7 on that play.
Yeah, and that's the thing we talked about also. When Herrin scores, you've got to answer. You can't get down 2-3 scores and hope to come back on a team that can just run the ball and eat up clock. Now, you've really got to sustain some drives and put points on the board if you can.
Merrill and Gosha deep. Here is Van Orbeck. Boots this one, going to head to the far sideline and down by Cole Richardson, and Herrin will take over at their own 38-yard line. So a decent punt and great coverage by Cole Richardson, and Herrin will take over at their own 38. The Rangers showed some flashes on that offensive side, Justin, that they can throw the football. They just got to get some protection for Caleb Brock.
Yeah, they can. They can do it. We know they can do it, and we've seen it in the first 3 games. We've seen him with pressure also in his face and being able to make some nice plays, but he on those 2 sacks, he just didn't have but about a second to think about it, and you can't even get your eyes focused on the receiver in a second. So, yes, if they give him some time, I believe we will be able to move the ball, but you can't be down 2 or 3 scores and expect to try to come back. You got to get a stop right here and get the football back.
Big defensive set here for the Rangers. Gavin Pickle from the shotgun, split backs Merrill and Gosha. Here's going to be handoff to Gosha. Picks up first down yardage all the way out near midfield, and boy, they just run hard.
Yes, they do.
Gosha takes it to the 50-yard line. Pickup of 13 on the carry, and it's 1st and 10 from midfield for Herrin. And right now, Benton has shown that they have not been able to stop the last 2 runs. Big yardage by Merrill, and then a big pickup that time by Gosha as they just lower their head and go. Nothing fancy about it. 1st and 10 from the 50. 7.5 to play. Here's a handoff to Merrill. Gets to the outside, cuts loose, turns the corner, and he's down the sideline and finally brought down by Clay Kelly, but not before he picked up yardage all the way down to the 12-yard line. And
38-yard pickup.
Merrill not only can run north and south, he's got a little juke move to the outside and got a pretty good another gear when he gets to that outside.
Just a complete stud of a running back, and he shows it on every play. He doesn't give up. When he's hit initially, he's just grinding them feet, pumping them legs, and he's going to get every inch he can, and he's going to bring it all night. So Benton's defense has to be ready every play.
They've taken it from their own 38 to the Benton 12 in 2 plays, 2 running plays. Here is Pickle back to throw, and we got a flag. Might be a delay of game. We'll wait and see. Delay of game on Herrin, and we'll move it back 5 yards. Herrin started this possession at their own 38-yard line, and they moved it to the Benton 12-yard line. So a pickup of 50 yards in 2 plays, 2 running plays. 13 and 37 on the 2 running plays. And now they have a 1st and 15. Here is Pickle back to throw. Looking. Now he's going to run with the football. Pickle still on his feet, cuts loose, takes it to the middle of the field, and gets back down to about the 10-yard line. So he'll take it back to about the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. 3rd down for the Tigers.
Yep, and that was a designed pass play out of the shotgun that time. And we heard they were going to throw it around a little bit when we got here, and it holds true. They're trying to throw it, every 4 or 5 plays, it looks like. That time Pickle didn't like what he saw, and he's a big kid himself, so he just tucks the ball in and gets what he can on the ground, and he picks up 7 yards.
Let me correct that. 2nd and 8. It's a 2nd down and 8. Here is handoff to Milner, and he takes it in untouched. Untouched from 10 yards out. Herrin's put 2 on the board here. A 10-yard touchdown run. Brent Milner takes it in from 10 yards out, and Herrin has opened up a 13-0 lead at the midway point of quarter number 1.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. They've got the go-for-the-throat attitude right now, and they are wanting to pour it on the Rangers. They've had a grudge, and it shows. And they just want to come out here and destroy everybody they play this year. And you know, they're a good football team. If you don't come to play, if you don't button it up, it's going to get ugly quick.
Point after kick is good, and it's 14-0. That score comes at the 5:57 mark of the first quarter, and the Rangers find themselves in a big hole here on the road at a difficult place to play, down 14-0. And right now, the thing that concerns me is that the Benton has shown no inclination they can stop the run.
No, just getting blocked downfield. That's what Herrin does well. The running backs block extremely well. The two that aren't getting the ball, they have a job to do. They still know they have a job to do. They go do their job. Their line blocks. They get to the second level. Once the running back follows them through the hole, they get to the third level, block a safety, block a corner. Next thing you know, they're scoring 10-yard touchdowns. So you just got to stay with your game plan if you're Benton right here, and hopefully you can get something going offensively and answer one of these touchdowns. You know, I hate to say it, but if you get down 3 scores, it's going to be one of those nights again like we had last week, because Benton's offensive capabilities just don't show the ability to be able to come back from that kind of a deficit.
George Stiles is deep for the Rangers, and Josh Haynes will tee it up for Herrin here. 5:57 to go in the first. Rangers down by 2 scores early. And again, Haynes boots it. It'll be Stiles from the goal line. Still on his feet, cuts back, shows some speed, and fumbles the football, and Herrin has it. Herrin has the football, and the Rangers. Things go from bad to worse very quickly as George Stiles fumbles the football. And it'll be Herrin football deep in Benton territory at the 15-yard line, and the Rangers are in some trouble in Williamson County.
And you can bet they smell the blood in the water right now. They're going to go for the touchdown right here. They're on the 15-yard line. I would expect maybe a little pass play out here in this the long sort of the side of the field that's towards us, maybe a little fade pattern in the end zone to Haynes or one of their big wide receivers they've been talking about over here. So this will be the time to try it out.
It will be Gavin Pickle under center. They run out of a split backs, out of a wing T formation. And Milner takes it in untouched, and the Rangers in a heap of trouble. Herrin scores for the 3rd time in the first 6 minutes. At the 5:48 mark. 5:48 mark, 9 seconds after the last touchdown. Herrin goes in again. A 15-yard run by Brent Milner, his second touchdown of the night. And it's 20-0 here at the we're still at the midway point of quarter number 1.
Well, they're everything that they were advertised to be. They've got some strong running backs. They've got a great offensive line, and the kicker just booms one. So I look for these guys to be one of the southern portion of Illinois' representatives when it comes time to get into deep into the IHSA playoffs. So these guys are just good all around. 21-0.
Herrin leads it here in the first 6 minutes of the game. And when you're the Rangers, turnovers like we just had, like Benton just had, you can't have those. You've got to take care of the football, and you cannot give Herrin an opportunity from the 15-yard line after they've already scored once. And like you said, a chance to really go for the jugular. When you go down 3 scores, you feel like that's a monumental place to come back from, particularly on the road. So Herrin sees that opportunity, and the last 3 touchdowns they have scored, or the 3 touchdowns they've scored, 10 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards, they went in untouched on all 3, untouched.
Yeah, it's something's got to change now. Some people's going to have to start stepping up and making plays. I know that they're big and they're physical, but you know what? We're playing football now. It's time to strap it in, boys. So unless you want to walk out of here with about a 60-0 loss and go back to Benton, you don't want that. So somebody's got to start stepping up.
Van Orbeck will be deep for the Rangers. Here is Haynes. He booms this one. It will be fielded by Van Orbeck again at the goal line. He'll cut back to the middle of the field and take it down to about the 15-yard line, and that's exactly what that kicker can do for you. We talked about last week with Dylan Carnes of Pinckneyville, and this week with Josh Haynes. Haynes has been around since he was a freshman He won some games with field goals his freshman year down here, won a playoff game down here with a field goal. So he's got the experience, and he can boom the football. And when you can put that ball near the goal line or into the end zone on that kickoff, it changes the entire complexion of the other team's offense.
Well, when you're on the kickoff receiving team, you got to be on the goal line, and if that ball's going to be over your head, just let it go. Because in high school, once that hits the 20 or once that hits the end zone, it's automatically dead, and you get the ball in the 20 without getting crushed.
Rock from the shotgun, wings it out, got a man and incomplete, and a flag on the play. Going to be interference.
Little arm bar that time by 22 for the Herrin Tigers as the Benton receiver was trying to run their route. And we've got an unsportsmanlike over here as well on the line of scrimmage. It looks like the Herrin defensive line was having some extracurriculars.
Intended receiver, I believe, was Bradley Phillips. Number 80, is that correct? Or have they changed jerseys on me?
Well, they do that sometimes. So number 80 is, yeah, that's what I got, Bradley Phillips.
And it was pass interference, and then as Justin said, another flag came in on unsportsmanlike conduct.
Now, unless it's on Benton, which I saw the Herrin player kind of raising a little heck over there with the official when the flag was thrown, so I'm thinking it's probably going to be 2 penalties on the Tigers right here.
We have 2 flags on the field. We'll wait until they sort things out.
Pass interference.
On Herrin.
That's it? Okay.
15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage is the announcement. So
a lot of yellow on the field, though.
And it will be, we will see where they mark the football at. We'll be watching some scores around the area tonight. All those scores will be brought to you by our friends at All Stars and Stitches, 418 East Main in Benton. Stop by and see Big Dave. Ask about that incredible $5 T-shirt deal at All Stars and Stitches. Give them a call, 435-5555. Nashville leads AJ 8-7. Midway first quarter, 8-7, Nashville and AJ. That might be one of the better games of the night. That Mississippi division. Here's Rock from the shotgun.
Go it.
Winging it out, got a man and incomplete.
Getting held again that time, I think, and there's no call on that one. It looked the exact same as the play before that they threw the penalty on.
Intended receiver again was Phillips.
Phillips is able to get free from the defensive back over there from Herrin, which is number 22. And that's going to be Trey Stevenson that time. At Phillips, he's fast, and he's able to break free, so I look for that matchup all night.
Clay Kelly's a single back. And Caleb Rock. Here's Rock back to throw. Under pressure, wings it out over the middle, got caught by Cruz Hayes. And Cruz takes it out near the 40-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Nice pass. Here's the situation there. The 2 good points of that play. Caleb Rock knew he was going to get hit, and he still stayed in the pocket and delivered the ball. Cruz Hayes knew he was going to get popped, and he stayed in there and hung in there and caught the football. Pickup of 8 on the play, 3rd and 2 for the Rangers. So a nice play there on both ends there by the Rangers.
Now it brings up a manageable 3rd and 3, and you got options here. You can run it, you can throw it, you can throw short, you can throw long. You've got matchups out there you can exploit.
Here is Rock back to throw, rolls, time. Looks, wings it out, got a man overthrown. Intended receiver was Trey McDaniel. Threw it over his head, brings up 4th down and 2. 4th and 2 from the Herrin 39-yard line. 4th and 2 for the Rangers. And we'll see if the Benton will come in and try and punt it away. We are in first quarter action, 4:48. One thing about it, with the Rangers throwing the football as much as they are, that clock's not moving a lot. Every time you have an incomplete pass, the clock stops. Jesse Van Orbeck will kick it off. Nobody deep for Herrin. They coming after the football here, maybe. And good punt by Jesse Van Orbeck. Takes a Benton bounce all the way down inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. So Herrin will start out deep in its own territory at the 16. Get you some scoring updates. Cester-Valier, Waltonville, Woodlawn jumps out on Hamco 6-0. 5:20 in the first on that one. As we mentioned earlier, Nashville leads AJ 8-0. Here's one that might be a little bit of a surprise to any, but to folks. Carterville and DuQuoin, no score at the end of the first quarter. Carterville and DuQuoin, no score at the end of one. We told you, high school football, strange things can happen sometimes, and that's one right there. You'd think that Carterville is a huge favorite going in there, but 0-0 at the end of one. Here is Gavin Pickle under center. Going to hand it off, and to the outside, it is going to be Goshen. He's going to be dropped all the way back. Good gang tackling by the Benton Rangers.
That's what you got to have right there.
And they showed some fire there. And on that, a host of Rangers, Clay Kelly. Also in on that for the Rangers was Jordan Kulik was in on that tackle. Lost the 3, second and 13. Second and 13. Cahokia 8, Marion 7. That's in the first quarter. West Frankfort 0, Harrisburg 0. End of one. Gavin Pickle under center. Split backs, Gosha and Merrill. And another, again, the Rangers do a great job again on the handling the rush.
Yep, defensive line that time for the Rangers, able to get off the ball just a little quicker and hit Merrill almost as soon as he accepted the handoff from Pickle, brought him down for a loss of 1. And that's this drive right here for Benton. They are gang tackling. It's not one Ranger trying to bring down a running back. It's one guy gets the initial hit, and then you got 5 or 6 guys jumping on the football, and that's what you got to have all night long. And it's just going to be a long night, and you're going to feel this game when it's over with. But that's just the way it's got to be.
3rd and 14 from the 13 for the Herrin Tigers. Pickle under center. Here's a handoff up the middle to Gosha, and he's brought down hard. In on that was Clay Kelly, and also Trey McDaniel in on that play. Cruz Hayes. And short of the first down, and Herrin's going to have to punt it away. 4th down coming up, so a good defensive set that time, Justin, by the Benton Rangers.
Very good defensive set that time. Did everything right. Now, if you can get the ball back, you're going to have good field position. First, let's hang on to the punt. Let's get us a decent run back here, get us in good field position, and then let's see if our offense can finally get going. I think we've seen some signs that they can move the football. Let's see if they can get it done for sure.
Here is Haynes. He boots this one on the punt and takes a good bounce for the Herrin Tigers. It goes out of bounds at about the inside the 30 at about the 27-yard line, it looks like. Kind of that rugby-style punt that time by Haynes, reminiscent of Trey Garrett a few years ago. Just takes a few steps to his right and then booms that one and places the ball very well and goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line where Benton will take over. But a good defensive set by the Rangers and Benton back on offense.
Yeah, some momentum maybe a little confidence, maybe for the team wearing maroon and white. Now that they've got a little confidence, hey, they can stop these guys. They just did it. So now let's try to get the football and let's move it down the field a little bit. If they get a score here, maybe the game changes a little bit.
Rock from the shotgun. Kelly is a single back. Wide outs everywhere. Here's a pass out to the flat. Chase Owens. Chase spins, turns, and goes down hard. But right back up is Chase Owens on a big hit there by the Herrin Tigers. That was Gavin Jordan in on that hit, and he laid a pretty good hit on Chase Owens. But he's a tough kid, Chase Owens is. He pops right back up.
Yeah, that's what you want to see from a player that takes a hit like that. Do they lay down there and feel it for a while, or they just get right back up, say nice hit, and go after it again? He did. He got right back up. They're ready to run another play.
It will be Caleb Rock from the shotgun. Here is Rock back to throw. Under pressure again, going to go back. Going to go down for a loss. Another sack for Herrin.
That's Hamilton Page as quarterback right now.
They have put the freshman in. Welcome to varsity football, Hamilton Page. They have changed quarterbacks. I'm not sure what the status is of Caleb Rock, but we will try and get an update on that. Now the Rangers have lost 10 on the last 2 plays, and it brings up a 3rd down and 20. So the freshman, Hamilton Page, gets called into action here at Herrin on the road, down 21-0. Welcome to varsity football. Hamilton back to throw, under pressure again.
Oh, boy.
And still on his feet. Gets rid of it
Got
and
him.
finds a man. Cruz Hayes going to get first down yardage. Cruz Hayes into Herrin territory to the 35. What about the freshman, Hamilton Page?
Oh, my goodness.
They had him in their grasp back at the 5-yard line. He somehow got got away, had the presence of mind, Justin, to stay and complete the pass. Wow.
Unbelievable. The kid is showing some guts out here, and that's what you want to see. Somebody come in here and lead this team. That's all they're looking for. They're looking around looking for a leader. Maybe the freshman's going to step up and do it right here and get us into the end zone.
What a huge play all the way down to the 35-yard line. The freshman, Hamilton Page, in at the quarterback spot. Page from the shotgun, looking, wings it out, and incomplete. Intended receiver was Trey McDaniel, and they are bringing the rush. One thing about getting the experience here as a freshman, you're not going to walk in any worse venues than this the rest of your varsity career. This will be as tough as it gets right here.
What do you think about this move right here?
Interesting, really interesting.
I like it. I mean, get the kid some experience. We've heard how good of an athlete he is. We've heard that he's the heir apparent, the next kid in line to take the football and lead the offense for the Rangers. Hey, why not?
Page from the shotgun. Hand off Clay Kelly. Fumbles the football. Still got a hold of it and takes it to the right side and picks up yardage down to about the 28-yard line. Pardon me, down to about the 32-yard line. As we approach the end of the first quarter here, 28 seconds remaining. The ball will be spotted at the 32. Going to bring up a third down for the Rangers. 3rd down and 6. Keep in mind, Benton's in 4-down territory. 4-down territory for the Rangers with the ball at the Herrin 32. 28 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Benton down 21-0. Here's Page. Hamilton going to run with it. Takes it to the left side and picks up first down yardage all the way down to the 20-yard line. The freshman is not scared.
No, and he got great blocks that time by his end, Cruz Hayes, who that's what you want to see out of a player who's used to getting the football, making first downs. Now he's blocking for the freshman quarterback. Freshman quarterback's running behind him and getting a first down on the ground for the Rangers. So Rangers moving the ball right now. Maybe they got a little life. Maybe we obviously have a little momentum on our side, and the guys have some confidence. Now let's get the ball in the end zone.
Here is Page from the shotgun. This will be the last play. Page rolls to his right. Ball is tipped and picked off. And here comes Herrin. Ball was tipped and picked off by Gavin Jordan, and the Rangers' momentum will end right there as Herrin, on a tipped pass, the interception, Gavin Jordan picks it off. But I think you go back. In a game like this, I think you have to pick out your bright spots. Sure. That's one thing I've kind of learned through the years, Justin. And you look at the last Benton defensive set, and then this offensive set here, you pick out the positives, and I think you see some right there.
Yeah, that pass intercepted is nobody's fault. That's just things that happen in a football game. You credit the defense on that one. The kid got a hand up as soon as Hamilton let go of the football, tipped it about 35 feet in the air, and it came down right into the linebacker's hands. That's just something that happens, something you deal with. I still think Benton's got a little confidence right now. Of course, they stopped the big running backs on the last series. Let's see if we can do it again.
This will be the final play of the first quarter. 9/10 of a second. Back to throw is Pickle. He's going to go for the home run ball. He's got a man out there, and it's going to be a touchdown to Josh Haynes with 9/10 of a second remaining, and Herrin goes up 27-0.
If he holds that ball for 3/10 of a second longer, Cruz Hayes hits him in the middle of the back, and he fumbles it. Benton picks it up and scores, but it didn't happen that way. What a pass by Pickle. We heard he had a good arm. We heard he's got some good receivers. Just hasn't had a chance to showcase them yet. He showcased it right there. What a bomb that time, and he put it right in the hands, right in stride. And who'd you say the receiver was on
Josh
that?
Haynes.
Josh Haynes, the kicker. He does a little bit of everything here. Maybe he'll deliver us some pizza up here later, but man, what a play.
And now Josh Haynes will kick the extra point. Here is the snap. Is good. Hold is good. Kick is up, and it is plenty long and plenty good. And it's 28-0, and that's the end of our first quarter. We have mercifully had the end of the first quarter. The Rangers down 28-0 is the score here at Herrin. Let's get in a break. 60 seconds. We'll come back for more action here from the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex. Back in 60 seconds.
You need a law firm who is willing to go and fight for you, whether you're in a divorce, accused of a crime, or if you've been injured in an accident.
I'm Brian Drew. My brother Jason and I's law firm was built on and continues to be run on fighting for our clients. We'll fight for you all the way through trial, be it in front of a judge or jury, whatever it takes. From Cairo to Effingham, from river to river, we're here for you. No case is too big, no case is too small. If it matters to you, then it matters to us.
Because when it really matters, hire Drew and Drew. Call 439-9406 or online at drewlawgroup.com.
Rock bottom prices and speedy delivery. That's Jesse Drew Rocket Material. Decorative landscaping, driveway rock, topsoil, sand, mulch, or lime. Jesse Drew Rocket Material has what you need to turn your yard into a place where you can relax and be the envy of your neighbors. Jesse Drew Rocket Material also spreads dirt and mulch with their Bobcats so you don't have to. Transform your yard or drive into something you've always imagined. Call Jesse Drew Rocket Material at 927-7857. 927-7857.
Back to Benton Rangers football on your high school sports connection, Q106.
Welcome back to Herrin. The Benton Rangers trail here, 28-0. We start second quarter play. It was a long 12 minutes for the Benton Rangers. And Haynes kicks it off, and it'll go into the end zone for a touchback, and it'll be Benton football at the 20-yard line. Herrin struck on the last play of the first quarter, 9/10 of a second on the first quarter clock. They had time for one play, and Gavin Pickle dropped back, and he threw the touchdown, went for the home run ball to Josh Haynes, and he caught him in stride down the sideline. Benton defender step by step, but Haynes hauled it in and went in for the score with no time on the first quarter clock, and Herrin running away with this one.
In better news, Cardinals are winning for you guys 2-0.
That's the first pleasant news we've heard since we got here. It'll be Hamilton Page, the freshman, and a flag on the play. Maybe too much time. Too much time on the Rangers. Delay of game will move it back 5 yards to the 15. It'll be first down and 15 for the Benton Rangers. Hamilton Page came in the game and sparked the Rangers on a nice drive all the way down deep into Herrin territory, and then the ball was tipped on a pass. Herrin intercepted it. And the next play, they take it in 67 yards. Here's Page again. Rolls to his right under pressure and goes down.
Safety or no?
We'll see where they brought him down at.
No, about the 1 yard line.
And it'll be Benton hangs on to the football, but they'll be deep in their own territory, and they're flirting with disaster right here. Loss of 12 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down and 22. Second and 27. I've got to add in the 5-yard penalty on the delay of game, so it's second and 27. Here's Page, goes out, got a man, and Phillips is the intended receiver. And it'll be incomplete, and that'll bring up third down. 28-0, Herrin in the lead here. The Tigers are as good as advertised. So it'll bring up third and long, third down and 27. The Cardinals up 2-0, as you heard Justin say. We'll be watching that score as we go along tonight and paying attention to what Milwaukee and the Pittsburgh Pirates are doing tonight also. Timeout on the field, and that's brought to you by our friends at SCD Ray. They've been serving your insurance needs since 1911, regardless if it's health, life, personal, or business insurance. Stop by and see John D. Aiken or Bob Ray. Give them a call at 439-7557. They provide service, quality, and commitment at SCD Ray. That's SCD Ray & Sons Insurance, serving Southern Illinois' insurance needs since 1911. Tom Maulding sends me a text message. Chester Valier up 14-0 over Hamilton County. Also, Other scores around the area tonight. Cesar-Valera, we said 14-0 over Hamco. Also, after one, Carbondale 3, Centralia 0. After one, Cahokia 16, Marion 7. Also, DuQuoin and Carterville scoreless early in the second quarter. That's a shocker of somewhat right there.
Yep.
As Carterville goes in there at 3-0, and DuQuoin coming off of a loss last week. Pinckneyville 3-0 lead over Sparta. That is in the first quarter. Pinckneyville at 3-0. So the Rangers deep in their own territory. Here's Hamilton Page. He's going to go down.
Safety.
And a safety goes down in the end zone, and that'll push the score to 30-0. Safety as Page protection broke down, and Page went down in the end zone. And right now, the Rangers just can't seem to. Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong here this evening.
Yeah, and not to mention you're playing a great football team in the Herrin Tigers. They can sense it. They smell the blood in the water, like I said earlier. They're a team on a mission this year. They've got things to prove. They want to get back to the playoffs, and they want to make noise in the playoffs. They just don't want to get there. They feel like they have something to prove here tonight, and it's just a bad deal that the Rangers are on the other end of it. Well, we've got Travis down the sidelines, and I've asked him about the quarterback switch, and he says there's no apparent injuries going on with Rock. They think Page gives us a better option, and you know what? He might right now. So let's see how this plays out. I like getting the playing time for the freshman, get some experience in there.
The Rangers will have to kick it off following the safety from their own 20, and this is going to give Herrin great field position. Jesse Van Orbeck will kick it off. Squibbs went up the middle of the field. Bobble fielded one of the upbacks and down inside Benton territory. That was, get a number, that was Aaron Meyer on the return for Herrin. Takes it down to the 40-yard line. Benton 40, so they'll start out in Benton territory. So it's 1st and 10 for the Herrin Tigers as they lead this one 30-0. And we're more than likely going to have a continuous clock in the second half on this one.
We might, yeah.
30-0 right now. All Herrin. They're as good as advertised. Sometimes you just have to say, hey, you ran into a buzzsaw, and that's exactly what's happened to the Rangers here tonight. And it's a complete pass.
No, he dropped it.
Oh, he did drop it. That was intended for big DJ Spell, 6'3", 170. Incomplete, and it brings up 2nd down and 10 from the 40-yard line. Herrin has pretty much been able to do what they want in this game. And we want to give a blanket note right up front to say anything we say is nothing disrespectful to Benton. There's just times you match up against an opponent that is clearly you're outmanned, and that's exactly what the case is here tonight. It's a 2nd down and 10 for the Herrin Tigers. Here's Gavin Pickle from the shotgun. Pitches it out to Merrill. Spins, turns, and takes it down to the 30, near 1st down yardage. In fact, he did get 1st down yardage. He'll move the chains, and boy, Merrill really runs hard.
Man, does he ever, and he is shifty. He can move right to left. He can move north to south, east to west, about as quick as anybody I've ever seen in a backfield in high school football. He is fast. He is strong. He is hard to bring down. He is not tall, so that makes it even harder to get underneath of him and get your pads lower than his. So he just gets lower than you, and he lays the boom on you when he gets near you. He don't want to run around you. He wants to run over you.
1st and 10 from the 30. Here is Gavin Pickle. He's looking, wings it over the top, and incomplete. Intended receiver was Josh Haynes. And Haynes was open, but he was led a little too far, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 on the incomplete pass. Clock stopped at 10:21. It seems like we've been here for about an hour and a half, and it's 10 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Speaking of Haynes, we know how good of a kicker is. He's been targeted 3 times as a wide receiver. He's got 2 passes for 1 touchdown and 106 yards in a quarter and a couple minutes worth. So they're looking at him hot and heavy as a receiver here, and so far, everything as billed.
Cahokia 22 and Marion 7. And Merrill breaks through, and he's going to take it in to the house for another score. Chase Merrill, a 28-yard touchdown run. 28-yard TD run by Chase Merrill. And this one has gotten ugly here in Herrin. 36-0 on that score.
He is a man on a mission tonight. The way he runs, for those of you who can't see the game, I wish you could see how this kid runs, because he is reminiscent of a few running backs we had back in the day, Alec Wessinger, Jason Harvey, just like that. Just hard runners, getting a ton of yards and scoring touchdowns.
It'll be Haynes to try the point after. Pickles a holder. And he booms this one through, and it is good. They've got the complete package here. They've got the kicking game. They've got the good defense. They have got clearly got just an unbelievably talented offense with the three big running backs in the backfield. It does kind of remind you of the year Benton had Jason Harvey and Travis Wissinger and Travis Dixon. All three rushed for more than 1,000 yards that year. So look back through your records book and see when that's happened before. But when three running backs on the same team rushed for over 1,000 yards, but it's kind of reminiscent of that.
Yeah, and then you had Doug Kirk at quarterback, who could turn around and throw it to Nathan Genesio at tight end, who was 6'4" and about 220 and runs like a deer. I seen him break a touchdown for about 60 yards at Salem. I thought it was one of the fastest tight ends I've ever seen on a football field as far as high school goes. And you're right, this team is, it looks like they are the serious, real deal package here when it comes to high school. What are they ranked?
They are ranked, and they are 4A. That's the thing. Benton's a 3A school, Herrin a 4A school, and they are ranked 8th in the latest AP poll in 4A football. So that'll tell you a little bit right there when you move up a class. Herrin with an enrollment in the probably 740 mark in that ballpark. Benton at around the 500 mark. So not that big of a difference in enrollment, but clearly, as far as talent goes football-wise, Herrin is the real deal.
Yep.
Josh Haynes will kick it off. He booms it again. This one's a low kick, going to be fielded by one of the up backs, and we'll get a number on that.
46, I believe.
It was Blaine Pankey.
Yeah.
Blaine Pankey, one of the up backs, takes it. He takes Benton down to the 36-yard line.
Freshman also in the game, Blaine Pankey, hard run, got what he could, broke a couple tackles on that play, and got Benton in pretty decent field position to start this drive. I know the game's it's 37-0 right now, but you still have to work on things as an offense. You still have games to play. This season's not over by any means. We could go on a streak and win some games late, get into the playoffs ourselves. So you got to execute still, and you got to stick to the game plan here and try to get points on the board.
The Rangers will start again from their own 37-yard line. There's going to be a handoff and not much doing, pickup of a couple. That was Nick Goffinette on the carry. Takes it down to the 39-yard line, pickup of a couple. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 8. We dropped under 10 minutes here in the first half. All Herrin tonight. They lead at 37-0. We're still at the 9-minute mark of the first half. Here is Hamilton Page. Turns the corner, and a flag on the play.
And
another flag. One thing about this officiating crew here, when one flag comes in, you know another one's going to come flying pretty quickly.
And they throw them from a good distance.
Yeah.
They are like world-class flag throwers.
Perhaps they ought to have some competition on officials who can throw the flag the farthest. And this bunch here they'd be hard to beat.
There's no competition there. These guys got it in the bag.
They can wing it, and it's going to be on Benton. A hold on the Rangers.
I think it should be a rule that you can't call a penalty on a team down 37-0.
With 9 minutes to go in the first half.
Yeah, I think it should be in the rule books.
And a freshman quarterback. That has to be a rule. We'll talk to the IHSA about getting that implemented. Hamilton Page will be at the quarterback spot from the shotgun, facing pressure. Wings it out, got a man complete to Chase Owens, and another flag. And we'll see what this is. And another penalty flag. And it's going to be against Benton, I believe.
What could that be? Offensive pass interference,
Chase,
I'm guessing.
Chase Owens caught the pass from Hamilton Page.
Illegal man downfield, yeah.
I think they ought to drop the rule out of illegal man downfield also when you're down 37.
Well, here's the deal. They figure they're going to get continuous clock in the second half, and they're not going to throw their flags too much.
Yeah.
So they're going to try to get out of the way right now.
Oh, it's going to be declined.
Well,
thank you, Herrin. 3rd down and 2. 3rd and 2.
It's 3rd and 12.
Pardon me, 3rd and 12. I'm looking at the wrong yard marker. Here's the freshman, and he's going to go down. And it'll be a loss back to the 33-yard line. Going to be a punting situation for the Benton Rangers. Bring up 4th down and 13. 4th and 13. Cahokia 22, Marion 7. The Cahokia Comanches laying one on on Marion. Marion set to go 1-3. AJ 14, Nashville 14-6 to go in the second. That's a good one. JC leads CZR 10-0. And here is a snap well over the head of Jesse Van Orbeck. He does the wise thing and just falls on it, but he sets Herrin up with yardage. They'll take over at the 9-yard line. And talk about when it rains, it pours. That's tonight.
Well, that's the next thing. We're going to get a thunderstorm move in, lightning, and then we're going to have to come back tomorrow. No flag. They're going to pick it up.
They're waving the flag off.
Well, see, they got that new rule in, see?
They did.
They got it in late in this rule book, so the officials are just going to pick them up.
So Benton will be on defense. Herrin takes over at the Benton 9-yard line. So Herrin 9 yards away from pushing this to beyond 40 points, and we're still at the 8-minute mark of the second quarter. Here is Gavin Pickle. Here is a handoff, goes to Milner, and he takes it in. Milner takes it in. Pardon me, that was Gavin Gosha, number 44, not 42. Gavin Gosha takes it in. At the 8:28 mark of the second quarter, and that pushes the score to 43-0.
Now does the clock...
Second half.
Second half, okay.
40-point lead in the second half. That maybe is another rule they should change. If it's 43-0 at the 8-minute mark of the second, I think most everybody here would be in favor of a continual clock. I've been on both sides of that, and I think it's a wonderful rule.
Well, you know what? Benton's been on the other side of the scoreboard before. We know how it is, so.
And Josh Haynes will try the point after kick. And timeout for the Herrin Tigers.
I would have liked to have just seen them take the penalty there and seeing how far Haynes could kick it.
43-0. The Herrin Tigers lead this one. I want to remind you that our scoreboard is brought to you by All Stars and Stitches, 418 East Main in Benton. Give Big Dave a call, 435-5555. Let's look at some scores from around the area. Games, Harrisburg 6, West Frankfort 0. That's a halftime score. Harrisburg 6, West Frankfort 0. Also at Cesar-Valliere, it was Cesar-Valliere leading Hamilton County 20-0. 5 minutes to go in the first half there. AJ 14, Nashville 14, 6 minutes to go in the first half. JC 10, CZR 0. Cahokia 22, Marion 7. DuQuoin and Carterville still scoreless in the second quarter. That's a shocker there somewhat.
That might be the shock of the night.
Now DuQuoin leads 6-0 over Carterville in the second. We get an update on that. So DuQuoin trying to spring the upset here in Mississippi play as it begins.
Harrisburg up 6-0 over West Frankfort at half.
And Josh Haynes will try the point after. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up, and it is good.
Heads up over there at the concession stand. You might get a football in your nachos.
44-0. Herrin all over the Rangers here. And Benton, there is nothing Benton can do to stop this. The Rangers have put up an effort, and they put up a valiant effort, but they're just outmanned here tonight against a very good Herrin team. That's all you can say about this.
They've ran 16 plays on offense, and they have 6 touchdowns.
And that pretty well spells it out right there. 16 plays and 6 of them for touchdowns. So they're about a 50% rate on the plays. About nearly half of their plays have gone for touchdowns. And the 4 running scores that I know that come to mind, the first 3 and the last 2, they basically have gone in untouched. That's how much the blocking is favoring Herrin right now. The running backs are just kind of running a will. And they've got some excellent running backs. I mean, Milner and Merrill, everybody knows about Brent Milner and Chase Merrill, but Gavin Gosha has emerged. He's a junior, and he has emerged on the scene. Now they've got 3 back there in that backfield that can take a game over.
The senior, Brent Milner, has 2 touches tonight for 2 touchdowns, a 10 and a 15-yarder.
Haynes booms this one, and it will again go out of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. And it'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. So Benton will take over. Still 8:28 to go here in the first half. And it's been a slow first half here, a lot of passing by the Rangers, and that has slowed things down. Sparta 6, Pinckneyville 3 at the half.
Oh, my.
Talk about perhaps a shocker coming up. Sparta 6, Pinckneyville 3 at the half. The Pinckneyville Panthers looked like world beaters last week against the Benton Rangers, 28-0. And Benton beat Sparta 40-12 in week 2, but right now it's Sparta trying to win its 3rd game of the year. Here's a handoff to Goffinette. He'll take it down to about the 20-yard line. And it'll be 2nd down and 9. Pickup of 1 by Nick Goffinette. Sparta 6, Pinckneyville 3. That's a shocker there at a halftime score. Hamilton Page at the QB spot. From the shotgun, handoff again, Goffinette. Fights, keeps his legs moving, picks up nice yardage out to the 29-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 8, and he's near first down yardage. .28-yard line is where they spot it. 3rd and 1 for the Rangers. 3rd and 1. Be sure and stay with us for our Drake's Jewelry halftime report coming your way in 7 minutes. Drake's Jewelry, your hometown jewelry store, 1204 Public Square in Benton. Here's Page. Hamilton Page, and hands it off to Goffinette. And Goffinette's going to pick up nothing and be pushed back, and he'll lose yardage on that. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Rangers.
Now, just to clear something, when the second half starts, and if we're possibly still down 44-0, that clock is going to be continuous. But let's say Benton ties the game or comes back. It's still continuous, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I think the only time it stops is a timeout or an injury. I believe the only time it stops after the second half with a 40-point difference. Jesse Van Orbeck will punt it away. The Rangers can't pick up the first down. And Van Orbeck hauls in the snap, punts it from his own 15. Nice punt by Jesse. Takes a Benton bounce and a flag on the play. Flags fly in from everywhere. Merrill gets to the outside, still on his feet, and we'll take it back out near midfield. This is all going to come back. I think it might be an illegal block on Benton. I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. It's going to be on Herrin.
Yep. A hold or a legal block on the return.
You saw 2 players get tangled up over there on the sideline, and you knew something was going to happen. Here come the flags. One of them traveled around 40 yards, I think, from where the official threw it at.
They got that down. I'll give them that.
These cats might be some dart players, you know, the way they can wing those flags. they're going to mark it from the 35.
Carterville just scored, and it's 6-6 DuQuoin Carterville.
Wow. That is a shocker. So it's 1st and 10 for Herrin from their own 35-yard line. 6:18 to go here in the first half. Gavin Pickle back to throw, looking for some more. Got a man open, and going to be caught by number 10 for Herrin. That is Colton Lanham. Colton Lanham, a 6'2", 190-pound junior getting some action tonight. And I think you'll probably see a lot of new numbers on the field for Herrin here before long.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see.
I would venture a guess and say when Jason Carnes tries to take Chase Merrill out of the game, he'll have a little bit of an argument on his hands. Chase Merrill just wants to be in there all the time.
49-yard line, and in Benton territory is the spot. Here is new quarterback in. Nope, Gavin Pickle's still in the game. Going to be a handoff to Spell with the DJ Spell picks up yardage down to the 33-yard line. 6 minutes to go here. Clock stopped as they move the chains. First down yardage by DJ Spell.
Yeah. Quarterback Gavin Pickle is still in the game. Chase Merrill is still in the game. There's 6 minutes to go. I'd say this is probably their last 6 minutes of the night, so they're just trying to make the best of what they got right here and call it an evening at second half.
Pickle from the shotgun. In motion, handoff's going to be to Gosha.
Oh, he just won't go down. You cannot jersey tackle these guys. They are going to drag you for a mile.
And Gosha takes it inside the 10. They're going to spot him at the 10. And Herrin is getting ready to hang 6 more on the board. They'll have a 1st and goal. We'll wait and see. They might be able to get a first down. It's not going to be 1st and goal. It's going to be 1st and 10 from about the 10.5-yard line. They can get a first down just inside the 1. Here's Pickle back to throw. Wings it into the end zone and touchdown. Touchdown, DJ Spell. 10-yard touchdown pass. And it's 50-0. DJ Spell went up high. And so Gavin Pickle to DJ Spell at the 5:15 mark. And it's 50 points on the board for Herrin, 50-0. And they'll try the point after kick. We're not to halftime yet. We're still 5 minutes away from halftime, and Herrin has hung 50 on the board. They wasted little time in this game, Justin, showing their superiority, and they put the first 6 on the board at 59 seconds in, and it's been pretty much downhill and a quick pace for the Rangers since then.
I got some good news here, though. Chase Merrill, 24, he's got a bloody hand, so he's got to come out of the game. So that's pretty good news for the Rangers.
It'll be Gavin Pickle. The hold, snap's good, hole's good, kick is up, and it is good. Josh Haynes, point after kick is good. And it's 51-0. 51-0 here at Herrin tonight. We'll have a continuous clock in the second half here at the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex tonight. All Herrin in this one is they scored early, and they've scored often in this one, and they have completely dismantled this Benton team. Looking at some scores around the area, Harrisburg leads West Frankfort 6-0 at halftime. Also at AJ, it's AJ 21, Nashville 14. That's at 3 minutes to go in the first half. Centralia 13, Carbondale 3. That's a halftime score. DuQuoin 6, Carterville 6. That's a halftime score. We'll keep you abreast of scores. Sesterville 20, Hamco 0. That's late in the second quarter. JC 10, CZR 0. That's late in the second. And here at Herrin, it's all Tigers, 51-0. 51-0. Josh Haynes will kick it off again. Deep for Benton will be Jesse Van Orbeck. He has boomed him into the end zone throughout the night. Haynes will kick it off. And it will be, again, out of the end zone. And it'll be a touchback, and Benton will take over at its own 20-yard line.
Well, tough.
Yeah.
I want to point out positives. I do. I like to get the freshmen in the game. I like getting the quarterback some, experience. The bad thing is it seems like he's running for his life every time he gets back there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not good experience. Good experience is when he has some success and he gets some confidence built up, and you build up, and then you take it into next week and you do something with it. I'm worried that this is going to affect him in a bad way. I don't think it will, but it could.
Here's going to be a dropped football, and I think
Herrin's going to get it.
The way this game has gone, it will be Herrin football more than likely.
Get it. Herrin just wants it more. That's just all there is to it.
And the Rangers fumble, and Herrin will take over. And this one has gotten very ugly. And I think the thing you got to be very careful about if you're Herrin here is that certainly, I was at Mount Carmel a few years back, and Mount Carmel laid a thumping on Herrin, and Herrin came away from that game feeling like that they took advantage of a situation where they were just a superior team. So I think that's one thing you got to be very careful about here.
Yeah.
With where the score's at right now. I know you can't call a team off and say don't do certain things, but on the other hand, there are things you can do when the game's in hand to just say, let's lengthen this out and let's keep it in the field and keep it in the middle of the field and keep the clock running.
And they've got a whole new unit in right now. New quarterback, new running back, so that's exactly what they're going to do.
They'll be under center. And here is handoff. We'll try and get a number. I believe that was number 25 for Herrin. That was Chris Butler.
And he got a lot of playing time last year, am I correct? And he did well last year. But these other couple of running backs for Herrin have just kind of risen up to the challenge, and he's kind of went to the back burner as far as the depth chart goes.
Clock running, 4:40 to play. Herrin couldn't push one more in here. They have the ball at the 12-yard line. Second down and 7. Second and 7 for Herrin from the 12. Downing, handoff. That was Nick Camarado on the carry. He's a 5'9", 170-pound senior. He takes it down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. The Rangers are going to drop to 1-3 with this loss. And the thing it does, Justin, when you talk about where you're at with the season, 1-3, and you'd have to win 4 or 5 to even get on the bubble.
I think you got to win out.
You've got to win out to get them all. And the way the things are going in the Ohio division this year, with Frankfort and Harrisburg both having trouble getting wins. Massac. Up the middle will be a handoff.
He just keeps pumping the legs. Nobody wants to tackle him low, so he's just going to fall forward for about 5 yards.
Got it down inside the 5 to about the 2, but the points are not going to be good for anybody in the Ohio. You're going to have to get 6 wins because you've got 3 teams heading in tonight that are 0-3. Yeah. Massac, Harrisburg, and Frankfort. Of course, Frankfort and Harrisburg are going to one of those teams are going to get a win out down there tonight. 3:30 to play. 3:30 to go here in the first half. 51-0. We'll have a continuous clock to begin second half. And tonight, we are clearly a fan of the continuous clock. Down and under center. And going to be a handoff, and Benton's going to keep him out of the end zone, it appears. Handoff.
Down in, I think. Number 30.
Gavin Jordan,
okay.
Jacob Downing in at quarterback right now for the Herrin Tigers.
If anybody remembers when I played, there was a Downing that played for Herrin. That's his son. So that makes me feel tremendously old.
Second and goal from the 3. They run out of an eye. Here's Downing from the shotgun. Handoff and touchdown Herrin. Touchdown, Herrin, 57-0.
Just running it right up the middle, and nothing special. Just saying, okay, we got enough points. We're just going to run it. Can you stop us?
And Herrin just taking the Rangers to the woodshed here tonight at the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex. 57-0, and we're still not to halftime. Cesar-Valier, Waltonville, Woodlawn 26, Hamco 7. That's a halftime score. Here's the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 58-0, and still 2.5 to play here in the second quarter. Still 2.5 to go till halftime. So the Rangers taking a pretty good beating down here on the road tonight at the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex. It'll be Herrin to kick it off for the Rangers. You just wonder on this Benton team what this does to your psyche as far as to come down here and not be able to do anything against this team, and then couple that with at least 3 turnovers deep in Herrin territory that have set up touchdowns.
Yeah, and we didn't do anything last week either, so this is going to be 2 games in a row. We haven't mounted anything on offense, and still half the season to go.
Yeah.
Let's take a trip down memory lane. 1995, the great Rangers' first season ever to get to the playoffs. We go 7-2 regular season. We're playing Herrin at home. The Downing boy I was talking about now has twins. One of them's in the game right now. He was their quarterback. They drove it the length of the field with like minutes to go, and we're only up by like 4 points. Either he looked at the yard marker wrong and it said third down, or he looked at the scoreboard wrong and it said third down. They were hurrying to get back to the line of scrimmage to run another play. He was going to spike it, but it was actually 4th down.
Oh, my goodness.
He spiked it on 4th down. We win the game, go to the playoffs, first time ever.
What a great story. And I've heard of that happening before where the quarterback just gets confused about what the down is, and they'll spike it, and it turns out that it is 4th down, and that gives the ball back to the other team. So, Great story. I think you told me prior to the game that the first year that the first night of this, when they had the grand opening for this facility, Benton was here.
Yeah, we were here. They played DuQuoin the week before, and this is a good example of don't believe the hype and don't read the newspapers. They beat DuQuoin like 35-7 at DuQuoin the week before. We come over here, open this brand-new field up, and win the game like 42-12. I scored like 17 touchdowns and kicked like 43 extra points.
Here's a handoff to Goffinette. Nothing doing for Nick Goffinette. Gets it back to the line of scrimmage. 2:20 to play here in the first half. And Herrin leading it 58-0. 58-0 is the score.
Let's just be honest about that last story I told. I didn't probably score any. And I was on the film. I was the guy in the background holding up my fist that whenever like Brad or Nick Bass would score a touchdown, I was always the guy who was always on camera with my fist in the air.
Calling everybody.
Yeah.
Here's the freshman Hamilton Page from the shotgun. Hamilton's back to throw under pressure.
Throw it.
Gets it out and got a man and going to be intercepted. And Herrin Tigers, whatever they do is right tonight. As Colton Lanham makes an acrobatic interception at the 50-yard line with 1:47 to go in the first half.
And plenty of time to score, and that's the bad thing.
The Rangers trail 58-0. Benton has turned the football over numerous times here in the first half, and 4 times, and I think at least 3 of them they were inside the 15-yard line, which set up easy Herrin scores. So we'll see what Herrin does here with 1:47 to go. They've got their second team in. They're going to take a knee. They're going to take a knee here, I believe. And they will take a knee and let the clock run out. Mercifully, here in the first half. 58-0 is the score. And Herrin gets in a victory formation here in the first half, seconds before the first half. And we'll have an interview with Herrin coach Jason Carnes here in a moment. And also we'll get a word from Coach Clodfelder.
You've obviously called a ton more games than me. Have you seen anything like this?
No. This is the worst score I've seen at halftime.
Now,
by far the worst score.
a lot of credit goes to Herrin. Let's just be real here. They are everything that we've heard they are. But I don't think I've ever seen a scoreboard reach 58-0 at halftime.
No, I mean, I've seen scores in the high 30s, maybe around the 40 range would be pushing it at halftime would be the biggest one. I've never seen anything like this near 60 points in the first half. 58 points. So this is a new one on me.
And truthfully, if they're not taking a knee right here, they might be able to get into the 60s. So
yeah.
That's just, that's good sportsmanship, thankfully, that Herrin's showing right here. They've got plenty of points. They don't need any more, so they're just going to take 3 knees, let the clock run, and let's get to the locker room.
So they continue to take a knee. They'll bring up a 4th down, clock running at 22 seconds. We'll have a continuous clock in the second half. And I would assume that both coaches will try their best to keep the ball in the middle of the field and keep that continuous clock running in the second half. I don't think anybody wants to see anybody completely embarrassed.
Well, you don't want anybody to get hurt either.
And that's the end of the first half here at Herrin. The first half is over. We'll wait on Travis. He's going to try and connect with Herrin coach Jason Carnes. We'll wait and get that for you. We'll tell you again the halftime score, 58-0. Herrin all over the Rangers here. Herrin scored early and often in this first half. We'll give you some scores while we're waiting to see if Travis gets set up. 26-7, Cecil-Blair, Waltonville, Woodlawn over Hamilton County at the half.
Got him right now, Jim.
And I think Travis has made connection with Jason Carnes. Travis, go right ahead.
Yes, I'm down here with head coach of Herrin Tigers, Jason Carnes, here at the half. 58-0. Coach, are you speechless?
No, not really. I mean, we have a great game plan. I think our kids executed well. Our kids, and they're playing, extremely hard, and we got a fast team. And we're just a team on a mission. And I think the kids are, having a good time playing, and they're just playing. We've got a lot of kids involved tonight. Got to have a lot of kids involved in the second half. So that's always a plus as a head coach of the program to get a lot of kids involved.
Coaching football a lot of years, Coach. Is that the best first half offensively and defensively you've had in a conference football game?
Maybe back-to-back weeks. We played like this last week against DuQuoin, so in 2 weeks' time, I think it's probably one of the best 2 weeks that we've had. But it's very enjoyable. But now there's some kids that are hard to get in the games, get second, third string kids get in. The kids that work just as hard as the starters to get in there. They've been working all summer in the heat and put in the hours just like the other guys do. So I'm excited for those guys in the second half. Hopefully we get through with no injuries.
Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Jason Carnes, you heard him, guys. He's walking off the field, and as a coach, you got to feel pretty good. His Tigers leading 58-0 at the half, guys. And I can tell you that Ben's Lawn Service, 605 North Main Street in Benton, brings you our halftime report. Ben's Lawn Service is our exclusive Skaggs Power Equipment dealer in Southern Illinois for more than 30 years. Skaggs Power Equipment has manufactured simply the best commercial riding, stand-on, and walk-behind mowers that money can buy. If you're looking for the best built, highest quality, best cutting commercial mower, stop by Ben's Lawn Service, 605 North Main in Benton, or give them a call, 435-5296. That's Ben's Lawn Service. They bring our coach's halftime report here on Benton Ranger Football on Q106. And, guys, I'm going to have to send it back to you because I can only hear that song.
Travis, good job down there. We can hear the song as well. Sounds like Herrin coach Jason Carnes is very pleased with the first half performance from his team. Certainly we're going to have a running clock in the second half. Let's take a 90-second break and come back here with some stats, and we'll get you set for the second half here at Herrin.
Tired of feeling just like another number at the big box store pharmacies? Kimmel Chaplin Pharmacy takes the time to get to know patients on a first-name basis, understand your needs, explain medications, answer any questions you might have, and maintain a great relationship with your third-party insurance, Medicare, or Illinois Public Aid card. Really, it's the prompt professional service and free delivery in the Benton West City area that really set Kimmel Chaplin apart from all the others. Kimmel Chaplin Pharmacy inside the Benton Medical Center on Bailey Lane.
At Subway, we're seriously into veggies, just like you. So we get right to work every morning, selecting the best ones, rinsing, slicing. With this cool, crisp, colorful rainbow, your sandwich comes to life before your very eyes. A one-of-a-kind creation just bursting with flavor. We're all about finding unique veggies. And not just the expected, all kinds, like spinach and red onions. So come in and get your veggie on at Subway.
If you want a huge selection without a huge price, get to Weeks in Benton for the model year-end clearance event going on now. 2015s are arriving daily, so we must move all remaining 2014s. Find the vehicle you want at a price you can afford with 7 brands to choose from. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Polaris, and Victory motorcycles. Now is definitely the time to buy, as there will be huge deals on all 2014 models. That's Weeks in Benton, north of town but south on the price. Back to Benton Ranger football on Q106.
Welcome back to the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex with Justin Wyant. I'm Jim Muir. Halftime score of Herrin 58, Benton 0, 58-0 at halftime. Herrin leads this one by a score of 58-0. I want to remind you that our halftime report is brought to you by Drake's Jewelry, located at 1204 Public Square in Benton, your hometown jewelry store. Regardless of the occasion, Drake's Jewelry is the place to go for that special gift, for that special person. That's Drake's Jewelry, your hometown jewelry store located on the east side of the Benton Public Square, where they have financing available 12 or 24 months. Is the same as cash for qualified buyers. Check out that rhythm, at Drake's Jewelry, check out the Rhythm of Love pendants, the diamond that moves with her heartbeat, more than 50 styles to choose from, and beginning at only $79. That's Drake's Jewelry. They bring you our halftime report here on Benton Ranger football. The Herrin Tigers are the 8th-ranked team in Class 4A football, according to the Associated Press. They are the preseason favorite to win the Ohio division, and they have left little doubt in this one about them being a very good football team. They scored early. They scored often in the first half as they put a touchdown on the board 59 seconds in at the 11:01 mark, and they scored again at the 5:57 mark, again at the 5:48 mark, and then again at the as time was running out in the first quarter on a 67-yard touchdown pass. They led it 28-0 at the end of one and hung 30 more on the board in the second quarter, and Benton has had no answer tonight for the Herrin Tigers. 58-0 here at the intermission. And Justin, you asked me the question in the years of broadcasting if I had ever called a game quite like this one, and I answered no. This is the biggest scoring difference at halftime that I've ever been involved in. That's 20+ years. Have you ever seen one at halftime quite like this?
Well, no, but I can tell you right now, my junior year, speaking of that 95 season, Game 9, we played Pinckneyville, and they were down. They had been down for 5, 6, 7 years. We ended up winning that game 72-12. That's the most lopsided score I've seen in person. I hope we don't get to that point tonight. You know, Benton's still, they've got a game plan. They still want to execute the game plan. They want to get some experience with these young guys. They didn't even go into the locker room. That's what's going on. They're just huddling in the end zone down there, trying to figure this thing out and trying to get some momentum going, something positive going into by the end of the night. That's just what you can think right now if you're coaching, if you're playing, something positive, make it happen.
I think that maybe the best way to describe the fact that Benton is just outmanned here tonight by this Herrin team, who is bigger, more physical, quicker, and beat Benton in every aspect of the game. I think it's kind of like, maybe I'll use a basketball analogy, but did you ever see a basketball game when it looked like that one team had 8 players on the floor that they were trying to guard them with 5? Yeah. That's kind of the way this game has looked for Benton tonight. It's like Herrin has had 18 players on offense, and Benton was trying to guard them with 11, and they just beat them every way. Off the run, they beat them off the pass, they beat them in the kicking game. They shut Benton down defensively. They 4 turnovers on the Rangers in the first half, 3 of them inside the 15-yard line, and so it's just been a very, very difficult first half. We'll have a continuous clock to start the third quarter. That means the fifth quarter get out of the gate quicker tonight, and we'll get you all those scores around the area quicker. But no, it's been a certainly all Herrin in this one tonight. and the Rangers trail here at halftime, 58-0. Have you got any stats at all to throw our way here at halftime, Justin?
I'll give you what I got. Let's start with Herrin, who's up 58-0 right now. Chase Merrill, 4 carries, 88 yards, 128-yard touchdown, and another 10-yard touchdown. Brent Milner has 2 carries for 25 yards, both of them for touchdowns, 1 of 15 and 1 for 10. Gavin Gosha, 6 carries, 37 yards, 1 9-yard touchdown. Quarterback Gavin Pickle has 1 carry for 7 yards. Passing Pickle is 3 for 5, and he found Haynes twice for 106 yards and a 70-yard bomb. And DJ Spell, he found him 1 time for a 10-yard touchdown in the end zone. The Rangers, Clay Kelly has 2 carries for 2 yards. Caleb Rock has 2 carries for a negative yardage. Hamilton Page has 6 carries, also in the negatives. Nick Golfinette, 2 carries for 2 yards. Richardson has that 1 26-yard pass reception from Caleb Rock. Owens, 2 catches for 10 yards. Cruz Hayes, 2 catches for 68 yards. Not a whole lot of offense tonight. Of course, we got Hamilton Page in there now, and he's thrown the ball 5 times as well. He's completed 1 pass for, just got it back to the line of scrimmage for 0 yards. He's run the ball a few times. It just looks like, Benton, with the score the way it is, we're just trying to get some new faces, some new names, and see if they can get a spark. Maybe they can get a spark, maybe throw a couple scores on the board and get out of here with a little bit of pride tonight.
58-0 is our halftime score, and again, our halftime report being brought to you by Drake's Jewelry. With 3 designer bridal lines, Drake's Jewelry is the place where Southern Illinois gets engaged. Featuring Romance and LaVie, Drake's Jewelry has more than 250 affordable styles to choose from. Stop by and visit Drake's Jewelry on the east side of Benton Public Square, or shop online at drakes-jewelry.com, drakes-jewelry.com. That's Drake's Jewelry, your hometown jewelry store. They bring you our halftime report here on Benton Ranger football here on WQRL. Let's get another quick break in, then we'll come back. We're at halftime, our Drake's Jewelry halftime here at Herrin. Herrin all over the Rangers, 58-0 is our halftime score. Back to Herrin and the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex after these messages.
Hi, I'm Travis Severin, sales manager for U.S. Bank Home Mortgage in Southern Illinois. We all know how important it is in football to have great coverage in your secondary, and we feel the same with U.S. Bank Home Mortgage. In Southern Illinois, if you're buying your first home or anything in between, we've got you covered. If you live in Southern Illinois, our team has you covered with Becky Clifton in Centralia, Karen Pelker in Mount Vernon, Nani Moore in Benton, and Kathy Lober and Carla Grant in Marion. With the variety of loan programs we offer, coverage is our specialty. U.S. Bank Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When it's time to make sure your teeth are in healthy condition, call Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton to schedule your appointment or your child's appointment. Regular cleaning and checkups are part of maintaining your teeth for a comfortable, healthy smile. And if you're looking to brighten your smile, Dr. Simpson offers whitening too. When your teeth need cleaning, filling, crowns, bridge work, whitening, and more, call Dr. Simpson to make an appointment. 439-4364. That's 439-4364 for Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton.
Everyone has a lunch special, but what's special about it? At Mr. D's, you get great food at the best price, like the burger combo. A hearty, tasty burger, fries, and a drink for only $4.39. That's right, less than $5 for a full meal. Now that's special. Mr. D's has all of your favorites, from chicken strips with gravy to chili dogs to savory barbecue, even a tilapia fish sandwich. Wash it down with your favorite drink like a blueberry Mountain Dew or a milkshake or ice-cold Pepsi. Try an ice cream cone for dessert. Mr. D's Drive-In on North Main, Benton.
Back to Benton Rangers football on your high school sports connection, Q106.
Welcome back to Herrin, the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex, the Benton Rangers, and the Herrin Tigers. The Herrin Tigers, the preseason pick to win the Ohio Division and ranked number 8 in the latest Class 4A Associated Press statewide polls. And they're hitting on all cylinders here tonight, as they have ran up a score of 58-0 on the Benton Rangers here in the first half. 58-0. Some other scores from around the area that I found some interesting matchups going on, and we'll get you those as we move along. Marion was down big, and they've come roaring back, and they have tied Cahokia 28-28, and we'll keep you abreast of that game as we go along. Also, AJ leads Nashville 21-14 at halftime. In other games around the area, it was Chestervalier leading the Hamilton County Foxes 26-7 at halftime. Belleville-Altoff leads Mount Vernon 21-13 at halftime. Also, 6-0 Harrisburg over West Frankfort at halftime. DuQuoin 6, Carterville 6 at the half. JC 10, CZR 0 at the half. Some other scores around the area. Sparta, Pinckneyville, and Sparta in a dandy little matchup. It's 6-3. We understand Sparta in that one. So certainly some interesting games around the area tonight. I just received a message from Travis Severin that Coach Klopfelder wishes not to talk with us at halftime, and so we will move on from there and get set for the second half of action here. I want to remind you that one of our fine sponsors here on the Benton Ranger football is Edward Jones. Edward Jones, located at 112 North DuQuoin Street in Benton. Call financial advisor Tim Millenbein at 618-438-8690 for all of your investment needs, or you can visit online at edwardjones.com. That's Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. That's Edward Jones, one of our sponsors here. And don't forget to call our friend Tim Millenbein, your financial advisor, located at 112 North DuQuoin Street in Benton. And again, that phone number is 618-438-8690. And be sure to stay with us in our second half for that Wilkins Auto Body hard hit of the game. We appreciate the good folks at Wilkins Auto Body, one of our sponsors here on Ranger football, and we'll bring you that hard hit of the game at the conclusion of this one tonight as the Rangers and the Herrin Tigers open up Ohio Division play here at the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex.
Bad night. It's just a bad night for the Rangers. I mean, once again, let's give a lot of credit to the Herrin Tigers. They're everything they're billed out to be. Great defense, great offense, great special teams. And Benton run into a buzzsaw here tonight. We got Frankfort coming in next week, homecoming, Saturday game, going to be a tailgate, right?
I believe it will be, yes. Always a lot of fun. That's the noon game. We love Saturday afternoon football up at Tabor Field. There's a great feel to it, and so homecoming at Benton High School, and that's always an exciting week for high school students. And so we'll look forward to that this week as the Rangers will celebrate homecoming by hosting cross-county rival West Frankfort in that Saturday game. That's a noon start, so keep in mind we will not be on the air next Friday night with football, but we'll bring you the fifth quarter from the Benton West City Applebee's. And don't forget that coming up this coming week. Friday night will be the fifth quarter from Applebee's, and we'll bring you Saturday afternoon football. Kickoff at 12 noon, and the pregame show will begin at 11:30 from Tabor Field. So it'll be a busy morning for us as we go from Saturday morning talking sports, and just a little short jump to the start of that annual matchup that everybody looks forward to, the Saturday afternoon game between Benton and West Frankfort. The Herrin Tigers will kick it off. Here to begin the third quarter, we'll have a continuous clock when we start the third quarter, and we'll get this one over with pretty quickly after that continuous clock starts. We want to say, again, we appreciate the fine work of Travis Severin down on the sideline. He's got a job that's not easy down there, trying to run coaches down and make connection with the radio station and take care of business down there. And we want to say we really appreciate the good work that Travis does at down on the sideline, and he adds a lot to our broadcast every week, and we really appreciate that.
I think I saw him sprint the 100 yards 4 times to try to get people on the radio. And the thing is, right there with Coach Claude, Coach took extra time to talk to his team. The interview with the radio is the last thing on his mind right there when you're down 58-0 at halftime. So, yeah, Travis has got a tough job. I wouldn't want to track any coach down when they're down that much and dealing with what he's dealing with right now.
So the Herrin to kick off. Josh Haynes will boot it. And Jesse Van Orbeck deep for the Rangers. Continuous clock as we start third quarter play. Only time the clock will stop here in the third quarter will be if there is an injury or a timeout. Other than that, the clock will continue to run. $58-0 is the score. Benton will take over at its own 20-yard line. You've got to give an awful lot of credit. That's something that coaches, I'm surprised more coaches don't start trying to develop kickers at a very young age and get them because this is a situation where you can really change the complexion of a game. We saw it last week, saw it again this week. You got Haynes this week and Carnes last week for Pinckneyville. Here's Hamilton Page back to throw under pressure. Wings it out, got a man, and knocked down, incomplete. And it'll be second down and 10 as Hamilton Page, the freshman, he got the call about early in the second quarter.
Yeah.
And he is kind of baptism under fire for the freshman.
We saw him get in late against Sparta, right? At home.
He did get in that game late when that game was out of hand and Benton had the lead.
Did some good things there, and just an athlete and trying to get some experience here.
He was a mainstay on that Benton 8th grade team that won a state championship. In fact, hit the winning shot in the championship game. And handoff goes to George Stiles, and that was a miscommunication there on that play, and the Rangers toss for a loss. And it'll push it back to about the 15-yard line. So it pushes it back to the 16-yard line. It'll be third down and 14 for Benton, deep in their own territory, and a freshman quarterback against the 8th-ranked 4A team in the state. And then just to add a little bit more to that poor situation, Benton's down 58-0. Here is the freshman, Hamilton Page, and he's under pressure. He steps out of the pocket and scrambles back across the 15, gets back to about the original line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard, and it'll bring up a fourth down for the Rangers. Clock running, 10 minutes to play in the third quarter. Continuous clock here as Herrin leads at 58-0.
Benton just not trying to, turn the ball over there, just trying to keep the ball in the middle. Feel like you said, and just still unable to get offense generated.
Here is a punt that's partially blocked. It will take a roll down to the 41-yard line, but yet Herrin will take over in great field position from their own 41-yard line. And we'll have some new players on the field for Herrin as Coach Jason Carnes has called off the dogs as far as his stable of running backs. Milner, Merrill, and Gosha all on the sidelines, along with quarterback Gavin Pickle. So we'll have some new players in for Herrin. In fact, they came out of the game in the second quarter. It will be Jacob Downen calling signals for the Herrin Tigers. They run out of a wishbone offense and good pursuit by Benton.
Swigonski on the tackle in the backfield. Good job.
Tristan Swigonski on the tackle. Drops the Herrin ball carrier for about a 3-yard loss, second and 13. 8:50 to go in the third quarter. Second down and 12. Second and 12 for the Herrin Tigers. It'll be down and under center. Wishbone offense for Herrin. Here's going to be a pitch out to Parks. Parks will get it back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up third down and 10. Third and 10. Ball carrier was McLean Parks, a 5'8" sophomore for the Herrin Tigers.
Parks, another hard runner. Doesn't seem to matter who they're putting in there right now. They all have the same mentality, and that's run downhill as hard as you can, take on the defenders head on, and then get yardage after contact. They have a great future, it looks like, as well here, and a team to be reckoned with in the future.
3rd down and 10. 3rd and 10 for the Herrin Tigers. Down and under center. They stay under center. Handoff, and Starkweather with the ball, with the carry. Blake Starkweather, another sophomore, takes it down to about the 36-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th down and 5. 4th and 5 for the Herrin Tigers. Clock running, 7:20 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Continuous clock here in this football game, as Herrin leading it by a score of 58-0. Benton will drop to 1-3. Herrin will improve to 3-1.
And lining up to go for it.
And they're going to go for it on a 4th down and 4. 4th and 4 from 36. And handoff
He
didn't get the first down, and it'll be Benton football. Takes it down to about the 32-yard line. It'll be 1st down Benton. And the Rangers will take over at their own 32-yard line. We've played about halfway through the 3rd quarter, 6 minutes to go. That continuous clock, things speed right along here.
And with that said, if you want to tune into the 5th quarter tonight, it probably will be fairly soon coming up. So we'll have all the scores in. It sounds like there's some upsets brewing in Southern Illinois. Travis will take care of all that back to the studio. He's probably driving about 123 miles an hour right now. Fumble. Herrin's got it.
And another fumble. That'll be the 5th turnover of the night.
Now they're saying 2nd down.
Benton regains possession, but a loss of 5 on the play. And the Rangers have just not been able to get anything going tonight. Nothing. They have one series they drove down inside the red zone, and that was on a busted play. But other than that, they have not got anything going whatsoever. Turned it over 4 times, 3 inside the 15-yard line. Here's a handoff. And we'll see. Ball carrier for the Rangers. Jaron Bennett. Freshman Hamilton Page in at quarterback for the Rangers.
Who is that in the backfield? I can't see a number.
33.
33.
Jaron Bennett.
Jaron Bennett.
Here's Page back to throw. Wings it out over the middle and complete to Tyler Orr.
Nice job.
Tyler Orr, who got some quarterback time last year, then battled with Caleb Rock for the quarterback spot this year and lost that job, but went to the coaches and said, hey, I'd like to be a part of the team, and he has got some time in at tight end and has done a good job there when called on. He had a nice catch last week at Pinckneyville.
Yep.
And another nice catch there, moves the football out near midfield. 4.5 to play in the 3rd. Here's Page back to throw again. Over the middle, throws it out, and incomplete. Here comes one of those flags in from about, that one there traveled about 30 yards, I think.
Watching Hamilton Page on those last 2 pass plays right there, he's getting back. He's not getting as much pressure in his face now with the 3rd and 4th team in for Herrin, so he's able to set his feet, step up into the pocket, and make a nice, strong throw on both those plays. And that's going to be a pass interference on Herrin, so we're going to get 15 added on, or not added on, but, yeah, added on from the line of scrimmage there. So moving the chains right here, and there's nothing more you want to see right here if you're a Ranger player, fan, coach, whatever, is to see some points get on the board. You don't want to get out of here with a 0. You want to come out of here with something positive and make something happen right here.
Here's a handoff to Bennett again. Jaron Bennett takes it out to the 33-yard line, pick up a 4. 2nd down and 6. They'll give him 5, 2nd and 5, we'll call it. 3:20 to go in the 3rd. And it is all Herrin in this one. The Herrin Tigers with a 58-0 lead. That was the lead at halftime. Here's a handoff again to Bennett. Bennett runs hard, picks up yardage down to the 28-yard line. spot him at about the 27. And he is near first down yardage. So it'll be 3rd down and 1 for the Rangers. 3rd and 1. Ball spotted at the 27-yard line. Freshman Hamilton Page. Here is a handoff to Bennett, and he picks up nice yardage, first down yardage for Jaron Bennett. Takes it down to the 20-yard line. Clock running, 2:15 to play in the 3rd. And the Rangers with a continuous clock here. We'll get you some scores from around the area as we move along. Into 3 quarters, Harrisburg leads 14-0 over West Frankfort. And Hamilton Page back to throw. Pardon me, handoff goes to Jaron Bennett. He's dropped for a loss of about 5. Chesterville 34, Hamilton County 7. Mike McKee will get his first win at Chesterville. They'll go 1-3.
Yeah, and you wondered how Hamilton County was going to respond coming off the huge win they had last Friday night over Wyant and Goreville on the 50-yard Hail Mary with no time on the clock to win the game.
And here is a run by Hamilton Page, and he's going to be stopped at about the 26-yard line. Loss of a couple. Harrisburg looking to get their first win of the season. They are at 0-3 heading in. They lead Frankfort 14-0. We'll try and get you updates on that A.J. Nashville game. Also on the Carterville-DuQuoin matchup. Chester and Carmi-White County. Carmi-White County leading 18-14 in that game. That's probably one of the premier games. Here's the freshman, Page, back to throw. Under pressure, wings it out, got a man open, and knocked away. Good defense that time. Intended receiver was George Stiles. And good defense by the Herrin Tigers, and they slapped that ball away.
Number 32 for Herrin on that play, and that is going to be Braden Whitecott, the 5'11", 160-pound junior defensive back. Made a nice play, closing on the football, knocking it away.
We wind down the final seconds of the 3rd quarter here, and it'll bring up a 4th down for the Benton Rangers, 4th and 14. So the Rangers are going to try. We'll go for it here on a 4th down and 14. Hamilton Page from the shotgun. Bennett is a single back. Wide outs, 3 far side. Here's Page under pressure. Gets rid of it and incomplete. And a little extracurricular activity on the field, and we're going to have some flags come in. Maybe we'll see. They get some players separated. And that'll end our 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the book here at Herrin. The score 58-0. Back for 4th quarter action after these messages.
You need a law firm who is willing to go and fight for you, whether you're in a divorce, accused of a crime, or if you've been injured in an accident.
I'm Brian Drew. My brother Jason High's law firm was built on and continues to be run on fighting for our clients. We'll fight for you all the way through trial, be it in front of a judge or jury, whatever it takes. From Cairo to Effingham, from river to river, we're here for you. No case is too big, no case is too small. If it matters to you, then it matters to us.
Because when it really matters, hire Drew & Drew. Call 439-9406 or online at drewlawgroup.com.
Don't just dream about a better job. Go get it with scores of programs that take 2 years, 1 year, or even just a few months to complete. Rend Lake College is your gateway to a career you'll love. From nursing to coal mining, from computer programming to cosmetology, and everything in between. Rend Lake College is affordable, convenient, and ready to get you trained for your new job fast. Call us at 618-437-5321 or visit us at rlc.edu.
Back to Benton Rangers football on your high school sports connection, Q106.
Welcome back to the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex here at Herrin with Justin Wyant. I'm Jim Muir. Glad to have you alongside with us tonight for Ranger football here on WQRL. The Benton Rangers have ran into a buzzsaw here tonight at Herrin, and they trail it here 58-0 as we head to the 4th quarter action, a continuous clock, a very quick 3rd quarter, and the 4th quarter is going to fly by also. So we will keep you abreast of what's going on around the area as we roll through this 4th quarter. Don't forget, our fifth quarter program will come your way, and we'll have plenty of time to get set and get you the scores first from all around Southern Illinois. Travis Severin will be back at studio, and Justin and I will join him. Herrin takes over down and under center. And he drops the football, fumbles it. We'll see who's got it. I think Herrin recovered it.
Yeah.
Underway, fourth quarter action. Continuous clock here. IHSA rule implemented a few years ago. Anybody with a 40-point lead, if the lead ever gets to 40 points or more, in the second half it goes to a continuous clock. Only time the clock will stop is for a timeout or an injury. And Justin and I were talking about it. We have been on both sides of that clock, and I think most people are a fan of it. At this point in time, there's nothing left to prove here. Herrin is an awfully good football team. And here is Herrin with the football. Nice hit there. That was by Peyton Smith, who laid a pop on the Herrin running back. Peyton Smith certainly a candidate for our Wilkins hard hit of the game.
Yep. That was probably, as far as hitting goes, that was probably the best hit of the night. From a Ranger, Peyton Smith in at middle linebacker, met a running back in the hole and didn't give ground that time. They both stopped in their tracks, and Peyton Smith wins that battle.
It'll be Herrin running at under center down and wishbone offense. Here's a handoff, flag on the play. Nice yardage. We'll wait and try and get a number on that ball carrier. That was Chris Butler on the carrier, coming in the area of a legal shift against the Herrin Tigers. We'll move the ball back. And negate a nice run by Chris Butler. 10 minutes remaining in this football game. Continuous clock here at Harrison Bruce Sports Complex. Rangers with next Friday night off, but play on Saturday afternoon, the 27th. Benton and West Frankfort renew old acquaintances. West Frankfort down 14-0. They could be 0-4 heading into Tabor Field next Saturday afternoon. A high noon start at Tabor Field, 12 noon start. It'll be homecoming weekend, homecoming dance that night, the parade next Friday afternoon. Don't forget the fifth quarter next Friday night from Applebee's in Benton, West City. Applebee's will be on the air at probably around 9ish. And we'll get you caught up on all the scores around the area, some interviews with coaches. Busy week coming up here on WQRL.
And, of course, Frankfort, Benton, always a good game. Come out, get your spot. If there's a tailgate, I'm not sure if that's the weekend or not, but get your spot. Get out there and watch the football game. Hey, kids are still fighting hard. They still need your support. Should be a good game with the old rivalry.
Down and under center for the Tigers. Here is a handoff to Butler. Butler takes it out to the 35. And it'll bring up fourth down and about 7 for the Herrin Tigers. 4th and 7. They're going to punt it away. Is this the first time they've punted tonight?
Yes.
Herrin punts for the first time tonight. It just dawned on me, Justin, as they send the punting unit out. I think this is their first punt of the night.
They had a 4th and about 5 in the third.
And went for it.
And went for it, but they didn't get the first. But, yeah, this is their first punt.
So it will be...
No, it's not. We had a rugby-style one earlier.
That's right. Exactly right. Haynes had the rugby-style punt and had a nice punt back in the second quarter. And then Benton will take over at the 40. 8 minutes remaining in this football game. And the Rangers down 58-0. We'll try and get you some updates as we move along here from scores around the area. Cahokia 34, Marion 28. That's a third quarter score. Also, is Pinckneyville 9, Sparta 6. That's in the mid-third quarter score. And Carterville 9-6 over DuQuoin, end of 3. Here's going to be a handoff to Goffinet. And Goffinet picks up yardage out to about the 45-yard line. 7 minutes to play. in the football game.
Here's the thing. Our game's going to be over before the other ones are, so tune in to the fifth quarter if you want to know all the updates and all the games that are going on, all the games that are getting finished. We're going to have them first. Travis Severin's going to have them before anybody else, so if you want to know about anything, tune in 106.3 here in about 15 minutes, and we'll have every score.
Nick Goffinette, again on the carry. First down yardage, takes it out across midfield to the 47-yard line. 58-0, 6:45 to play here in the football game. The freshman, and snaps it over his head. He somehow runs it down, now under pressure, and he's going to go down. Hamilton Page will go down back at the 44-yard line. Loss of about 10 yards on the play will bring up second down and 20. Loss of 8, second and 18. Be sure and join us tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, Talking Sports. Scott Wirls will be with us to talk some Major League Baseball. Also, Todd Hefferman, the SIU beat writer for the Southern Illinois, will be joining us, and he'll talk some SIU football. They're at Purdue tomorrow, playing a Big Ten school. Here's a handoff to Nick Goffinette. Goffinette's nice spin move, turns, still on his feet, pushes it back to about the original line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up third down for the Benton Rangers.
Pittsburgh 3, Milwaukee 2, bottom of the 8th.
Pittsburgh just won't go away, will they?
No, they won't.
They just keep on plugging along.
It's going to be I think it's going to be a Cardinal-Pittsburgh rematch in the playoffs this year.
Could be. And here's a run. Stiles. George Stiles gets to the outside, still on his feet, and George Stiles.
No flag.
Takes it in from 47 yards out. George Stiles. So George Stiles gets the Rangers on the board with 5 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. George Stiles shows a little speed there, Justin, as he gets to the outside. He's got another gear.
Yes, he does. He showed a extra burst at the end of that, too. As soon as he got to the sideline, turned the corner, kind of left everybody behind, and a good run by Stiles. We've seen some of that last week at Pinckneyville. He was a bright spot on offense, and again tonight, showing his worth, getting our only score of the night.
Caleb Bishop will try the point after. Hamilton Page will hold. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. Kick is good. 58-7 is the score with 5:07 remaining in the football game. Benton on the scoreboard here, 58-7 is the score. This is a score just about the identical to the DuQuoin score last week for Herrin. I think they beat them 58-7 maybe last week, or 56-8. It was in that ballpark. So certainly another impressive performance by the Herrin Tigers. Tell you that the St. Louis Cardinals hanging on to a 2-1 lead. We mentioned that Pittsburgh Brewers score, and updates from Southern Illinois. Centralia 19, Carbondale 16. Carbondale not going away in that one. 8:08 left in the game. Centralia 19, Carbondale 16. We've got some tight ball games going on. Carmi, White County, and Chester, 4-point spread there with Carmi leading. Pinckneyville and Sparta, 3-point difference with Pinckneyville leading. Carterville and DuQuoin, 3-point difference with Carterville leading in that one. So some tight ball games around the area. Jesse Van Orbeck will kick it off. 5:07 remaining. And in to return to kickoff is Milner and Merrill.
No way.
Interesting. Great opportunity to get a kid hurt in there.
He's gone.
Yeah, Merrill's going to run it back. Merrill runs it back. Ahead 58-7, you put your best running back in to run a kickoff back. Interesting call, isn't it?
Well, you know what I was taught? I was taught by a good coach of mine, Jeff Roper, that things come back around. We'll remember that one of these days. There's going to be a time when Benton's good again. And Herrin's not so.
I have to say I'm very disappointed in that. I really am. I am disappointed that you're ahead 58-7. You put your two best running, a kid that ran back 3 scores last week, you put him back in the game with 4 minutes to go.
Right, against basically Benton's sophomore freshman team.
Disappointed. That would be the key word, I think, to throw out in that situation. I'll not editorialize about it, but it'll be Josh Haynes for the point after. And the point after kick is up and good. So with the touchdown, the clock stops at 4:55, and Herrin leading at 65-7. You know, I remember a game a few years ago, and it was a team in the Mississippi Division. And I can't recall it was a team that was in the lead and had a playoff berth locked in, and had a situation like that, and the kid blew a knee out on a play late in the game and a score similar to this. So in any event, don't have any idea how long the run back was. Too long. Ask me how long the run back is. Too long. That's how long it was. So
seriously, just
65-7. The Rangers trail here at Herrin. We've had a continuous clock. Stops with injuries, timeouts, and on a touchdown. 4:55 to play. Here's Haynes to kick it off again for the umpteenth time tonight. He'll kick it, and we'll go into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback back out to the 20. The Rangers trail by a bunch here. Don't forget our fifth quarter program comes your way. After 3 quarters, Cesar Valera 34-7 over the Foxes. He had a text from Dean Kelly, who does color over on for the Hamilton County Foxes. He says no miracles tonight at Cesar Valera. I think appreciate that, Dean. Also, it was Centralia 19 and Carbondale 16. 8 minutes to go in the game. So we'll keep you updated on what's going on in several games, several key games around the area. Still many of them up for grabs.
Like I said, Travis Severin is going to be the man with the breaking news tonight. He's going to tell everybody who wins. Caleb Brock back in the game.
Handoff goes to Golfinet. He breaks through for a nice run. And Caleb Brock back in the game, as Justin said, at the quarterback spot. And clock will be running at 4.5 to play. $65-7. Here's a keeper by Caleb Brock. Gets to the outside, turns the corner, still on his feet, and yardage down near across midfield, down near the 40.
And a flag thrown from about 47 yards away.
So another flag on the play.
Good thing is clock's still going to run, though, on that one.
We'll wait for the official here.
It's going to be a late hit on Herrin. Caleb Brock was about 4 yards out of bounds when he got hit.
Brock out of bounds at the Herrin 45. And they'll mark it down to the Herrin 35. $3:30 to play in the football game. 65-7. We've had a continuous clock in this second half. Herrin led it 58-0 at halftime. They lead at 65-7 now. Here's going to be handoff to Golfinet. And he is brought down at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
You got a latest on the Carterville DuQuoin?
Haven't got anything up to date lately. El Dorado 42, Fulton City 6. Here's a handoff. Golfinet still running hard, takes it down to about the 32-yard line. We are under 3 minutes. Cahokia 40, Marion 28. That's a third quarter score. As defense optional game at Marion. Cahokia hanging 40 on the board. Marion's at 1-2 going in, and if they don't rebound from that one, they're going to be off to a difficult start at 1-3 with the meat of the South 7 schedule in front of them. And incomplete pass from Caleb Brock, who's back in the game. Brock started the game, gave way to freshman Hamilton Page, and now Brock back in the game to close things out. And Benton will come away from this game with a lot of questions.
Well, you just hope there's no carryover because you don't want to lose to Frankfort. That's just you mark that game on your calendar every year, and you say that's the one we got to win for sure.
And Rock on the carry will pick up first down yardage down near the 20 for Caleb Brock. Clock running at 90 seconds. Spot him at the 20, first down yardage for Caleb Brock.
Well, it's tied 7-7 here in the second half.
Great block that time out of the backfield by Nick Golfinet, too. He's also a candidate for our hard hit of the game. And Golfinet on the carry takes it down to the 15. Nick Golfinet still working hard out there. Rangers down 65-7 as we head into the final minute of this game. Be sure and stay with us for Jesse Drew, Rock and Material post-game show. Golfinet dropped and for about a 2-yard loss pushes it back to the 16-yard line. Third down and 8. Third and 8.
Probably the last play of the game right here.
30 seconds remaining. It will be Caleb Brock. And gets it to Golfinet. Golfinet takes it down to about the 12-yard line.
Game.
And that ought to do it. Our final score is going to be Herrin 65, Benton 7, 65-7 is the final. Let's get in a break. We'll come back with our postgame show brought to you by Jesse Drew Rock and Material. 65-7. Herrin wins it. Back in a moment.
We're looking to expand our business.
So we went to U.S. Bank for some financial solutions.
Luckily, they had the 19-employee location-expanding future vending machine-owning business package.
They kind of invented it for us.
U.S. Bank offers custom financial solutions for your business, from startup to expansion and beyond. Visit your local branch today. U.S. Bank, all of us serving you. Subject to normal credit approval and program guidelines. Some restrictions and fees may apply. See your banker for more information. Deposit products offered by U.S. Bank, National Association, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, this is Coach Herrin. If you need screen printing, embroidery, plaques, or trophy, give the big man, Big Dave, a call at All Stars and Stitches in Benton, Illinois, 435-555-555.
All Stars and Stitches located at 418 East Main Street here in Benton. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. Our regular hours are Monday through Friday from 10 to 5. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. What was that number again, Coach?
435-555-555.
Rock bottom prices and speedy delivery. That's Jesse Drew Rock and Material. Decorative landscaping, driveway rock, topsoil, sand, mulch, or lime. Jesse Drew Rock and Material has what you need to turn your yard into a place where you can relax and be the envy of your neighbors. Jesse Drew Rock and Material also spreads dirt and mulch with their Bobcats so you don't have to. Transform your yard or drive into something you've always imagined. Call Jesse Drew Rock and Material at 927-7857. 927-7857.
You need a law firm who is willing to go and fight for you, whether you're in a divorce, accused of a crime, or if you've been injured in an accident.
I'm Brian Drew. My brother Jason and I's law firm was built on and continues to be run on fighting for our clients. We'll fight for you all the way through trial, be it in front of a judge or jury, whatever it takes. From Cairo to Effingham, from river to river, we're here for you. No case is too big, no case is too small. If it matters to you, then it matters to us.
Because when it really matters, hire Drew and Drew. Call 439-9406 or online at drewlawgroup.com.
Tired of feeling just like another number at the big box store pharmacies? Kimmel Chaplin Pharmacy takes the time to get to know patients on a first-name basis, understand your needs, explain medications, answer any questions you might have, and maintain a great relationship with your third-party insurance, Medicare, or Illinois Public Aid card. Really, it's the prompt professional service and free delivery in the Benton West City area that really set Kimmel Chaplin apart from all the others. Kimmel Chaplin Pharmacy inside the Benton Medical Center on Bailey Lane.
When it's time to make sure your teeth are in healthy condition, call Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton to schedule your appointment or your child's appointment. Regular cleaning and checkups are part of maintaining your teeth for a comfortable, healthy smile. And if you're looking to brighten your smile, Dr. Simpson offers whitening too. When your teeth need cleaning, filling, crowns, bridge work, whitening, and more, call Dr. Simpson to make an appointment. 439-4364. That's 439-4364 for Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton.
Back to Benton Ranger football on Q106.
Welcome back to Herrin with Justin Wyant. I'm Jim Muir. We're glad to have you with us tonight. The Rangers lose this one by a score of 65-7. Our postgame show brought to you by Jesse Drew Rock and Material. If you need dirt, fill, sand, rock, mulch, or lime, the place to go is Jesse Drew Rock and Material. Give them a call today, 618-927-7857. That's Jesse Drew Rock and Material, our post-game sponsor on Benton Ranger football. And, Justin, not much you can say about this one. The Rangers, Herrin scored in the first 59 seconds of the game, and they scored many times after that, early and often, for the Herrin Tigers tonight, as they just outmanned Benton.
Yeah, Herrin's just a good team. Herrin is just a better team. Benton, the bad thing is we're halfway through the season. We have more questions now than we had before we started this game, and we're halfway through the year, and that's never a good thing. Herrin is everything we thought they were. End of story. They're a good team. Get back after it Monday and try to get West Frankfort.
Want to remind you also that one of our sponsors here on Benton Ranger football is Skibo Family Eye Care, located at 4200 Ilberry Road in Mount Vernon. Skibo Family Eye Care. They offer full comprehensive eye exams, contact lens fitting and evaluation, pediatrics and school requirement eye exams, retinal imaging and testing, and pre- and post-op management of cataract and LASIK procedures. That's Skibo Family Eye Care, located at 4200 Ilberry Road in Mount Vernon. Give them a call today at 618-242-6338. That is Skibo Family Eye Care. They bring you our Coach's Review report here on Benton Ranger football here on WQRL. The Rangers lose this one by a score of 65-7 is the final. Herrin all over the Rangers early. We're joined by Benton Ranger head football coach Jeremy Clodfelder. And Jeremy, your thoughts on the game?
Well, probably not a lot to say. They're first and foremost, man up and give them credit where credit's due. They're a really, really good football team. They're big, they're strong, they're fast, they're physical. They're a good football team. We put them in some situations that gave them short fields, and early on they were throwing it all over us a little bit. Kind of came out and hit a big one, and just two blown coverages, and it really wasn't blown coverage. It was man. We just weren't man enough to cover it, and it's just tough right now. You go from 07 and you kind of change the culture and you kind of get it back on track, and you go through some really fun and pretty good years, and then this is tough.
Tough loss, and a couple things about the game. We talked about going in. Thought you had some big gains early on in the game, but could not stop the running game. They got a lot of weapons back there, and they just run really, really hard. They scored early and kind of got you down, and then the rest, kind of just fell into place for them.
Well, offensively, it all starts in one spot. It starts with five guys up front. They're really good up front, and we're really, really bad up front. And that's not me calling out. That's not me being mean or demeaning. That's me being matter of fact. We're not very good up front. We're not very big up front. We're not very strong up front. We're not very tough up front. When you're not those things, you're going to struggle on both sides of the ball. That's just the way it is. And I don't like it. And I'm sure the parents don't like it. I know the kids don't like it. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just a spade is a spade, and we're just not very good up front. When you're not good up front, boy, it makes for a long night. And
one question I think begs to be asked: your decision to change quarterbacks.
Yeah. We came down here and, as you and I talked throughout the week, we were going to be demanding. We were going to hold guys accountable. We weren't going to let guys not come in the game or come in the game and be intimidated and have a fear about them. That's what we're trying to overcome right now with some guys. And I felt like the first one came in and did some things that I've been asking him not to do in terms of laziness with the ball. We had 2 go routes, and we didn't even give the guy a chance. Then we come down on 3rd down, and we got a little flood out combo kind of down here with a comeback route. And 3 guys wide open is what I'm getting from the box, and we kind of just didn't handle the moment. So, I mean, it was nobody was immune. If you're going to come down here and not play fearless, if you're going to come down here and not do the things we asked you to do, hey, we said all along, if we get beat 65-0, get beat 65-0, but be fearless. Go out and play hard. Make them feel you. Go play with a passion. And I didn't feel like the first one was doing that. I felt like we tried the other guy, and the other guy made some nice plays early in the series. Made a guy miss, hit Cruz down the sideline, got us a big runner. He had some unfortunate things happen, the tip ball for an interception on the rollout, but I really thought he took some steps. I really liked the way he was headed. And my conversation with him on the sideline was after tonight, the game will slow down. I mean, I don't know that anybody's as good as them in the Ohio. We'll find out next week, I guess, and we'll find out when Murphy and Herrin play and when we play Frankfurt and whatever. But, I mean, I'm sure nobody's as fast as them and as physical as them and gets off the ball. So I thought he handled the moment really well, and I expect, now that he's seen it and he's seen a really good football team. Let's not forget they're ranked 9th in the state by the AP. That's not a message board. That's the Associated Press. In 4A, they're a good football team. And I thought the pup came in and did a nice job. And, he made some mistakes again, but he's going to make mistakes. We expect him to make mistakes. But what I'm really happy and proud of him was he never flinched. He got hit, pressured. He took some shots. He got right back up off the ground. He ran the ball. He did some things that I was kind of curious about how he would handle it, and I was a little bit leery about doing it, but I made a promise to myself, if I didn't feel like you were ready to play and you weren't going to come down here and sling it and do the things we asked you to do throughout the course of practice, everybody else was held to the same standard, and so we put the young guy in there, and like I said, I think going forward the games will slow down for him.
Will there be more changes?
Yeah, you bet, absolutely. We got an extra day. We're giving our kids off tomorrow. We're going to have a team meeting Monday, and there's probably going to be some, and we're just going to have to reset the goal a little bit and get ready to go play. Get ready to go play homecoming against people down the road.
And it's certainly with homecoming week coming up. That's always a distracting week. We've talked about that in the past. There's a lot going on, so certainly you've got to work around that this week. You've got your rival coming in. You've got that traveling trophy at stake, so a little bit on the line this week as you get ready to match up back at home, which is always a good thing, back at Tabor Field. But certainly a big week for Benton football.
Absolutely. It's the 99th game between the two schools. We're on a 6-game winning streak, and we certainly would like to figure out a way to put a 48-minute game together to keep that trophy here and make it 7. I mean, that's the goal. We owe that to the people and the former players and the guys that have won the trophy and kept the trophy here. And 99 years worth of something is if you don't have enough pride to go to work and play and compete with a determination to represent your school, your community, your alumni, and all the people that have done it before over 99 years, and that's probably a deal you probably have to check yourself in the mirror about.
Coach, we appreciate you coming up. I know it's not easy coming up after a loss like this. We certainly appreciate that, and we'll look forward to rolling the sleeves up and get ready for a Saturday afternoon matchup that we really enjoy every year at Tabor Field.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Benton coach Jeremy Clodfelder. Again, comes to you on our post-game show brought to you by Jesse Drew Rock and Material. If you need dirt, fill, sand, rock, mulch, or lime, the place to go, Jesse Drew Rock and Material in Benton. Give them a call today at 618-927-7857. That's Jesse Drew Rock and Material. They bring you our post-game show, and again, our Coach's View report brought to you by Skibo Family Eye Care, where they accept most major vision and medical insurance plans, including the BSP, IMED, Medicare, and Blue Cross Blue Shield. for all your eye care needs. Make an appointment with Dr. Emily Miner-Skibo at Skibo Family Eye Care, located 4200 Ilberry Road in Mount Vernon. Give them a call today, 618-242-6338. That's Skibo Family Eye Care. Visit them online at skibofamilyeyecare.com. They bring you our Coaches Review Report. Justin, a final thought. We'll look at some final scores, and we'll get ready to wrap it up.
Wilkins hard hit of the game. We need to get that in there real quick. Let's go with Peyton Smith. We thought the linebacking play last week, and as Coach said after the game, was a little bit weak. I think after that, the one that stood out, they all played better this week, but the one that did stand out and made some nice tackles and some good hard hits was Peyton Smith. He is your Wilkins Auto hard hit of the night.
At Wilkins Auto Body, they want you to know that you have rights. Don't let your insurance company tell you where to take your car. Take it to the name you know and trust. Take it to the professionals. Take it to Wilkins Auto Body. That's Wilkins Auto Body, located on East Main Street in Benton, in the blue and white building right across the street from Rich Herrin Gymnasium. Give Wilkins Auto Body a call, 618-435-9373. And don't forget, deer will soon be on the move here in Southern Illinois. And Wilkins Auto Body, they want you to be safe and observant in your travels. But if life happens to you, give them a call, 618-435-9373. That's Wilkins Auto Body. They bring you our hard hit of the game here on Ranger Football. 13-9, Sparta defeats Pinckneyville. Sparta knocks off Pinckneyville 13-9. That's a huge win for Coach Rob Kirk at Sparta, as his Bulldogs knock off the Pinckneyville Panthers by a score of 13-9. Also, Cesar-Valere 40-7 over Hamilton County. That's still about 9 minutes to go in that game. Chester 28-18 after 3 over Carmi White County. Also, in other scores, it is AJ 28-22. That's a late third quarter score. Haven't gotten any updates on the matchup between DuQuoin and Carterville of late. That was a tight ball game, leading by 3. Carterville led by 3 late in the third, so we'll get some updates on that. So some interesting games around Southern Illinois, and a big win for Sparta, Justin.
The question is, how did Sparta stop the running attack of Pinckneyville that we saw last week that seemed to be dominant? I'd like to know. I mean, of course, we saw Sparta up close and personal, and they have some athletes on defense, but they couldn't stop us, and we all know how the Ranger offense is clicking right now. So, I mean, maybe we can get a call in from somebody that was there, or maybe the radio guy for Sparta can call back in tonight. But
yeah, we'll try and get John Shepard back in if we can at all, and that will be excellent to do that. So, Justin, we're going to wrap it up here from the Harrison Bruce Sports Complex. Don't forget, the fifth quarter show comes your way. Just in a few minutes, Travis Severin is back in the studio, set to anchor that, and he'll get you started. We'll join him in a few minutes, and we'll get you caught up on all the scores first, right here on your fifth quarter show here on WQRL, your high school sports connection. For our engineer back at the studio tonight, Ashley Bites, and for Travis Severin, I'm Jim Muir, speaking also for Justin Wyant. We hope you enjoyed the ball game tonight as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. The Rangers have a tough one down here tonight. Benton loses by a score of 65-7. Benton drops to 1-3. Herrin improves to 3-1, and that's the final from Herrin. The Rangers fall 65-7 is the final. With that said, so long. For right now, we'll be back in just a few minutes with the fifth quarter. Be safe out there. Good night.
Some of us put our life savings under the mattress, while others use a coffee can. For a safe and valuable means of saving your money that you would like to pass on someday to someone special, talk to SCD Ray & Sons Insurance Agency in Benton about single premium whole life insurance. You will immediately increase the amount you can leave to your heirs without any negative tax implications. Sound too good to be true? Call SCD Ray & Sons, your Pekin Insurance Agency, at 439-7557 for all the exciting and valuable details of single premium whole life insurance.
When it's time to make sure your teeth are in healthy condition, call Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton to schedule your appointment or your child's appointment. Regular cleaning and checkups are part of maintaining your teeth for a comfortable, healthy smile. And if you're looking to brighten your smile, Dr. Simpson offers whitening too. When your teeth need cleaning, filling, crowns, bridge work, whitening, and more, call Dr. Simpson to make an appointment. 439-4364. That's 439-4364 for Dr. Simpson, DDS in Benton.
You need a law firm who is willing to go and fight for you, whether you're in a divorce, accused of a crime, or if you've been injured in an accident.
I'm Brian Drew. My brother Jason and I's law firm was built on and continues to be run on fighting for our clients. We'll fight for you all the way through trial, be it in front of a judge or jury, whatever it takes. From Cairo to Effingham, from river to river, we're here for you. No case is too big, no case is too small. If it matters to you, then it matters to us.
Because when it really matters, hire Drew and Drew. Call 439-9406 or online at drewlawgroup.com.
Tired of feeling just like another number at the big box store pharmacies? Kimmel Chaplin Pharmacy takes the time to get to know patients on a first-name basis, understand your needs, explain medications, answer any questions you might have, and maintain a great relationship with your third-party insurance, Medicare, or Illinois Public Aid card. Really, it's the prompt professional service and free delivery in the Benton West City area that really set Kimmel Chaplin apart from all the others. Kimmel Chaplin Pharmacy, inside the Benton Medical Center on Bailey Lane.
Rock bottom prices and speedy delivery. That's Jesse Drew Rocket Material. Decorative landscaping, driveway rock, topsoil, sand, mulch, or lime. Jesse Drew Rocket Material has what you need to turn your yard into a place where you can relax and be the envy of your neighbors. Jesse Drew Rocket Material also spreads dirt and mulch with their Bobcats so you don't have to. Transform your yard or drive into something you've always imagined. Call Jesse Drew Rocket Material at 927-7857. 927-7857.
Are you interested in a career in the culinary arts but can never afford the high cost of cooking school? Rend Lake College has a low-cost recipe for success. For as little as $5,500 per year, you can get a quality culinary arts education in your own backyard. That even includes books, tuition, class fees, and supplies. Learn to master domestic fare, pastry, and foreign cuisine in Ina, Illinois. Save thousands on a culinary arts education at Rend Lake College. For more information, log on to rlc.edu/culinaryarts.
If you want a huge selection without a huge price, get to Weeks in Benton for the model year-end clearance event going on now. 2015s are arriving daily, so we must move all remaining 2014s. Find the vehicle you want at a price you can afford with 7 brands to choose from. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Polaris, and Victory motorcycles. Now is definitely the time to buy, as there will be huge deals on all 2014 models. That's Weeks in Benton, north of town but south on the price.
At Subway, we're seriously into veggies, just like you. So we get right to work every morning, selecting the best ones, rinsing, slicing. With this cool, crisp, colorful rainbow, your sandwich comes to life before your very eyes. A one-of-a-kind creation just bursting with flavor. We're all about finding unique veggies. And not just the expected, all kinds, like spinach and red onions. So come in and get your veggie on at Subway.
The scores are rolling in from across Southern Illinois, and Q106 broadcasts them first. The fifth quarter show is brought to you by Leffler Polson Funeral Home in Benton, Rend Lake College, U.S. Bank, and Weeks in Benton. The fifth quarter show starts now.
Good evening and welcome to the fifth quarter show tonight. I'm Travis Severin. I'll be your anchor of the fifth quarter. This is the show here in Southern Illinois where for the 618 area code we go over all the high school sports from the different conferences. We'll be giving you scores from the River to River Ohio Division, the River to River Mississippi Division, the South 7, and the Black Diamond Conference. Our 4 main conferences here down in the Deep South. We'll be glad to bring you every final score. Not too many finals. They're starting to trickle in. Lots and lots of updates, though, on games from all over the place. Games just going final as Ashley's pushing scores across to me now. It's going to be an interesting show. Obviously, the Benton game got over very, very early tonight. So this is the fifth quarter. If you'd like to be part of the broadcast tonight, you can always call in at 1-800-439-1063 or 618-435-8100. So if you'd like to be part of the fifth quarter, call in from any game you are at tonight. If you're at a ball game, you want to talk about it, talk about your favorite team, we'd love to have you here on the fifth quarter. We've got lots of guests tonight. Since our game is one of the early games to get over tonight, we've got lots of guests that will be calling in. We've got a couple sports writers going to be on the show again, a couple broadcasters. And if you want to be part of the broadcast, 1-800-439-1063 is the way to do it. Like I said, the finals are starting to come in. We're going to hit it. We're going to hit our finals. And we'll start with what we have, the game that was just heard right here on WQRL. The Herrin Tigers. Wow. Herrin starts River to River Ohio Conference play at home. Folks, it was 58-0 at halftime. 58-0 at halftime. Final score, Herrin 65-7 over Benton. Herrin now 3-1, and the Benton Rangers drop to 1-3. Some other games we've gone final. Murfreesboro. Wow. Murfreesboro also scores 65 points. 65-20. Murfreesboro beats Massac. Murfreesboro starts River to River Ohio Division play with a victory. They win 65-20. Murphy now 3-1 on the season with the victory. In the fourth quarter, staying with the River to River Ohio Division, it's Harrisburg leading West Frankfort 21-6. Both those teams winless, trying to get a victory on the season. Harrisburg leading 21-6 was the last score we had on that one. We'll move to the River to River Mississippi Division. A wild game going back and forth. Undefeated Nashville is at Anna Jonesboro. Last we heard, AJ was up 28-22 midway through the fourth quarter. Here's a shocker maybe for the night. In the River to River Mississippi Division, Sparta, yes, those Sparta Bulldogs, who haven't won 3 games in forever, it seems like, pick up their third win of the season. That's right, their third win of the season. Sparta knocks off undefeated Pinckneyville 13-9. Sparta is 3-1, and now Pinckneyville is 3-1. How about the Sparta Bulldogs? Coach Kirk from Mount Vernon, the new head coach there, I'm sure we'd love to talk to him. What a big win tonight for the Sparta Bulldogs, 13-9 over Pinckneyville. Another tight game. A lot of people thought this game would not be close. Carterville, 3-0, going into DuQuoin. DuQuoin was 1-2, had given up 56 points last week. DuQuoin gave up 56 points to Herrin. Carterville, 9-8. Final, 9-8. Carterville beats DuQuoin. Carterville now 4-0. DuQuoin drops to 1-3. Carterville a perfect 4-0 on the season and 1-0 now in conference play. Black Diamond scores. Final, Johnson City beats CZR 38-0. Cesar-Valere, Waltonville Woodlawn. Coach Mike McKee trying to get his first victory. They're leading 40-15 over Hamilton County late in the fourth quarter. Chester at Carmi. Chester, they're undefeated. They're beating Carmi right now. Last we heard, 28-18. That was in the fourth quarter. We'll get you updates as they go. I got this score from the radio station. I hope she read it right. But they told me El Dorado 46, Fulton County, Kentucky 2. That's what they told me was the final. We will verify that. I called myself. They told me 46-2. So we'll wait to see if anybody has tweeted that or anything to make sure. But that's what they had given me. South 7, let me hit these South 7 scores. We've got a caller here. South 7, Centralia was beating Carbondale 19-16. Altoff in a tight game goes to Mount Vernon and wins. This is the start of South 7 conference play. Altoff 28-26 over Mount Vernon. Cahokia was leading 40-35 over Marion. That game at Marion. So that's all the scores. We've got our first caller of the night. I think it was Robert is our caller. Hey, thanks for tuning into the fifth quarter.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing good.
Hey, turn your radio down so we can hear you. You have to turn your radio down so we can talk or you'll get feedback. Robert, what game were you at tonight?
I was at the DuQuoin-Carterville football game.
Robert, tell us about the game you witnessed tonight.
Well, I thought it was going to be a blowout as well. But looks like both teams played really good defense. And it looks like I was talking to a couple DuQuoin people, and they said their holder was hurt, so they couldn't kick any field goals. So every time they scored a touchdown, they couldn't kick the extra point.
Oh, wow, they couldn't kick the extra point. Were you at the game yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You were at the game yourself, and you said Carterville wins that game 9-8. Sound like it was a back-and-forth game the whole way, huh?
Not exactly. It was just good defense. DuQuoin forced an interception in the second quarter, and then Carterville forced a fumble, and both teams couldn't score. It took down to whoever scored next to win.
So Carterville wins the game, and they improve to 4-0 in the season. DuQuoin with the loss. Sound like a tight game. Hey, thanks for calling the show tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So Robert was at the game, and Carterville won tonight 9-8. So Carterville knocked off DuQuoin, and we're going to take. We're getting some scores here, actually. Oh wow, look at this! 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. AJ has tied Nashville. So AJ Nashville are 28 all, and that is a final now. Cesar wins Cesar Coach Mike McKee, former employee for me. When I ran a bank over in Cesar, Mike worked for me. Great, classy guy. Mike McKee, great guy. Head coach now of the Cesar Valera, Waltonville, Woodlawn Red Devils. They win tonight 40-15. Thanks to Ronnie Van Horn for sending that score in. 40-15. Ronnie, who longtime coach over there at Cesar, he's always at the ball games. Boy, we've got a lot of games to get to. We can tell you that we've got a lot of guys coming on tonight. Jim and Justin will be calling in. They were at the Herrin Benton game. We've got a different guy. Scott Meese, Les Winkler are going to be calling in. We've got a host of different people to be on the show again tonight. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll try to get you some more final scores. You're listening to the fifth quarter. We'll be back right after these messages.
Tending to the needs of your family for the future is just as important as ensuring they're taken care of today. Within hours of a death, families find themselves confronted with numerous difficult decisions and necessary details. Pre-planning services with Leffler Polson Funeral Home can alleviate burdens by making these decisions ahead of time. For guidance and understanding the benefits of pre-planning, call Leffler Polson Funeral Home at 438-0021 or request pre-planning information online at lpfuneralhome.com.
Hi, I'm Travis Severin, sales manager for U.S. Bank Home Mortgage in Southern Illinois. We all know how important it is in football to have great coverage in your secondary, and we feel the same with U.S. Bank Home Mortgage. In Southern Illinois, if you're buying your first home or anything in between, we've got you covered. If you live in Southern Illinois, our team has you covered with Becky Clifton in Centralia, Karen Pelker in Mount Vernon, Nani Moore in Benton, and Kathy Lober and Carla Grant in Marion. With the variety of loan programs we offer, coverage is our specialty. U.S. Bank Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Dig in with full contact coal miner training at Red Lake College. Learn in our new 20,000 square feet coal mine training center. Use real equipment like continuous miners and power sitters. And check out the new mine rescue and fire safety training tunnel. Associate degree and occupational certificates available.
We're full contact, hands-on coal mining. Real equipment, real live, all the time.
What are you waiting for? Call 618-437-5321 and get started.
If you want a huge selection without a huge price, get to Weeks in Benton for the model year-end clearance event going on now. 2015s are arriving daily, so we must move all remaining 2014s. Find the vehicle you want at a price you can afford with 7 brands to choose from. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Polaris, and Victory motorcycles. Now is definitely the time to buy, as there will be huge deals on all 2014 models. That's Weeks in Benton, north of town but south on the price.
Back to the fifth quarter show on Q106.
Welcome back to the fifth quarter here at Travis Severin in studio. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to hit you with all the scores. This is the show. If you want to hear high school football scores from around the 618 area code, this is what we do. Final scores will hit right now. Herrin 65-7 over Benton. Murfreesboro 65-20 over Massac County. Just final. Harrisburg 21-12 over West Frankfort. Other games that have just gone final. Carterville 9-8 over DuQuoin. And yeah, Jeff, thank you. Harrisburg, yeah, that's right. Harrisburg 21-12 over West Frankfort. Nashville AJ in a tight game, 28-all in the fourth quarter. Here's a final score for you. Sparta, that's right, Sparta. They're 3-1. They beat previously unbeaten Pinckneyville tonight, 13-9. In the Black Diamond, Johnson City 38-0 over Christopher Ziegler Royalton. Cesar Valera, Waltonville Woodlawn with their first win of the season, 40-15 over Hamilton County. Chester, last we heard, Chester was up 28-18. It was 28 Chester, Carmi 18 in the fourth quarter. Trying to get an update on that one. El Dorado, we heard, won 46-2. We're trying to verify that as well. El Dorado was up big, though. It was 36-0 at the half over Fulton County, Kentucky. South 7 scores, Centralia 19-16 over Carbondale. We're waiting to get a final on that one. Just gone final a few minutes ago. Belleville Altoff 28-26 over Mount Vernon. Cahokia and Marion, the game is coming down the wire. It's Cahokia 40-35 with like 20 seconds to go. I was just reading, somebody was letting us know about that one and getting an update right now on a couple games for you just to let you know. Once again, fifth quarter live radio. We're trying to hook you up with every game from around the region. And there's games. Marion just scored with 40 seconds to go. Marion scores with 40 seconds to go. They're leading 41-40. So Marion's up 41-40 over Cahokia. Wow. They scored from 3 yards out. Wild games going, and we've got a Jim and Justin. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. You're not tuning in, but You're on the show with us. Jim Muir and Justin Wyant. Welcome to the program, guys.
Hey, we always tune in, Travis. We try and catch you every Friday night.
Well, here's the problem, guys. I'm not used to us having continuous clock. Normally the Benton game, as you both know, you've been calling the games for years, the Benton game usually goes longer than anybody's game. Well, tonight, you guys were done 20 minutes ago, and very unusually, I'm trying to get final scores. Normally we've got the finals to every game. In our game, we're getting on the air about 10 o'clock, so it's a little different tonight. But, guys, some back-and-forth games going. Have you had a chance to hear any of the scores I've been giving?
We have heard some of those, and just, a couple of shockers out there to me. That I think the Sparta win that's a huge win for the Sparta Bulldogs tonight.
Oh yeah, Sparta. That's humongous. Let's face it, Benton, and as I say this, Maury Bass just texts, Nashville takes the lead, guys, 34-28. Nashville scored 2 consecutive touchdowns. Nashville's up 34-28 with 7 minutes to go. How about AJ this year? Have you noticed that Anna Jonesboro, they might take the title away from Benton for having the longest running games this season? Have you noticed? We've tried to have Maury on 3 weeks now, and his games, he can't come on till about midnight.
I have noticed that, and that's been a roller coaster ride all night down there tonight between Nashville and AJ.
Yeah, that game's 34-28. That game was 28-22, but Nashville has ripped off 2 straight touchdowns in 3 minutes, guys. In 3 minutes, they've scored twice. So how about this? There's still 8 minutes to go in that game. It's 34-28. That score might be 55-50 by the time it's all said and done.
No kidding. Have we gotten any updates on the? I thought the best game of the night in the Diamond, Chester and Carmel-White County. Chester led that game. Have you heard a final on that one?
28-18 was the last time we've ever heard anybody say anything. So I've been checking every feed possible. We follow Yellow Jacket Radio, and they haven't updated in 30 minutes. So I'd love to know, and they're feverishly working here in the studio to try to help us out as well. We've got about 5 different smartphones, laptops, desktops, every type of media you can use to find a score. But Save actually getting a hold of someone at that game. Last we've heard, it was Chester 28-18. That's the final. Excuse me, that's the score so far with a few minutes left in the ball game. It's 28-18. Guys, give me your thoughts on the game you guys called tonight, 65-7. Jim or Justin, whoever wants to jump in, 65-7. Herrin beats Benton tonight. Thoughts on the ball game?
Travis, Justin, just a quick thought on the game. I think Herrin, I said it throughout the broadcast tonight, they're just a good football team. Of course, they're 4A, ranked number 8 in the state. They showed everything they had tonight, and they did everything well. I'm talking offense, defense, and, of course, special team. Haynes can kick field goals, can kick extra points. He also kicks the ball on kickoffs deep in the end zone every time. They do everything well, and they're going to go deep into the 4A playoffs, you got to think.
Well, I tell you what, obviously I'm only there for the first half, but what a – guys, I've never seen it, and you know me. I'm not speechless very often, but that was, I don't know what word to use, amazing if you're a Herrin fan. 58 points in the first half. I've been watching football. My dad took me to games since I was a little kid. I've watched way too many games on college and pro in my life. I've never seen someone score 58 points in the first half.
No, Justin asked me that question during the game, if I'd ever witnessed that in 20-plus years broadcasting. He said, no, I've never seen a game that got that far out of hand in the first half. And I think sometimes, Travis, and I don't mean anything disrespectful when I say this, I think sometimes you look out there and you just see two teams that are overmatched, mismatched, I should say. And clearly that was the case tonight. Herrin, they've got the stable of running backs. They've not just got one or two. They've got 3 running backs back there that would make a stud on any team in Southern Illinois, and they got 3 of them in the backfield. Gavin Pickle, I thought it really impressed me. I wondered about their passing game. They've got a passing game. The kicking game is another weapon. The defense, they're big, they're strong. Benton was just outmanned tonight from the start, and that's, in a nutshell, that's all you can say about it.
Guys, I got a final to pass along. I know everybody tuning in wanting to get the final scores. Thanks to Wade Thomas, offensive coordinator of Benton Ranger High School basketball. 41-18. Chester scores 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. 41-18. They beat Carmi.
big road win for Chester. That's over at Carmi, so that's a nice win for Brian Lee and Chester tonight.
That's a big win. Brian, I'll tell you what, Chester, since they've come into the conference, actually both teams, I mean, look what's happened, but Chester has really, really, really been impressive as they've come into this Black Diamond Conference. That's a tough place to play. In all those years I used to do Carterville football, not easy to go to Carmi, White County. Coach Kurt Simon does a great job. To beat them by 23, that's a statement on the road.
Absolutely, and that's not just driving across a few miles to get there. That's probably a 2-hour bus drive. It has to be at least 2 hours from Chester to Carmi, and on a bus. And nice win. Very nice win. And guys, we're waiting some of the games to become final. I can give you a couple of their finals we've been given. Centralia 39-22 over Carbondale. So Centralia, they're rolling as we open up conference play. Everybody in our deep south, everybody in the deep south, the River to River Conference, which is the Ohio and the Mississippi Division, the Black Diamond Conference and the South 7, all the conferences of the deep south here in the 618 area code, all in conference play as of tonight. And Centralia goes to Carbondale 39-22. They win. Althoff beat Mount Vernon 28-26. Marion was up 41-40 with 9 seconds to go. Cahokia had the ball like on the 5-yard line. And we've actually got an update. I'm glad. Thank you for getting that for me. Ashley gives me an update here. El Dorado won 42-6. So El Dorado went to Fulton County, Kentucky, and won 42-6. So El Dorado gets a big win there. But Marion final. Marion wins. They hold off Cahokia in a barn burner, 41-40. Can't wait to hear what Ron Ellis has to say about that game. 41-40. Marion is victorious. So that's some of the games from the South 7 Conference. Guys, Black Diamond scores as we were talking. Black Diamond. We got that final there. Jeff's bringing. We got scores coming from everywhere, guys. There's no telling. A Stork's going to bring us the next score, maybe, possibly. I'm not for sure. But how about some Black Diamond scores to talk about? JC, they come back and win 38-0 after tripping up last week, 38-0. JC beat CZR. Cesar Valier gets their first win of the year, 40-15 over Hamco. Chester beats Carmi 41-18, and El Dorado beats Fulton County, Kentucky 42-6. Fairfield, they play tomorrow. They didn't play last week. They got a forfeit last week. Now they play tomorrow, so they haven't played in forever. Fairfield's at Vienna Goreville tomorrow. Guys, any thoughts on those scores? Not really surprised at any of those tonight. I think the big game in the Diamond was that Chester game. Next week is rivalry week, and the Diamond week 5 is always the week of rivals. So there'll be some great matchups next week in the Diamond. So certainly a nice win from Mike McKee, and I really believe that program will turn around under Mike. He's a great guy, and I think he'll do a great job there. So congratulations to him on getting his first win there tonight.
Travis, real quick, the thing that sticks out to me about the Diamond is there's about 4 or 5 teams there that are showing themselves kind of pulling away, and you've got to claw and fight each week just to get through games. And that's how the Diamond is going to play out this year. I believe you just got to find a way to win a game on a Friday night, make it to the next Friday night, and then see what happens.
Exactly right. Just claw and scratch and get your way through it. The Black Diamond, really just some tight ball games so far, and some shootouts. It's been some wild scores, and it's got to be fun if you're following the Black Diamond Conference. And we're pushing buttons left and right. I think we're ready to rock and roll. We've been joined by Scott Meese of the Southern Illinois. And Scott, thanks for coming to the fifth quarter for your second consecutive week.
Thanks for having me.
You're not in a plane, are you, Scott? Can you hear us?
Sorry, let me get the window rolled up.
That's okay. I thought you were on a 747 for a second, Scott.
I'm good now. I can hear you.
Hey, Scott. Once again, joined by Scott Meese of the Southern Illinoisan here on the fifth quarter show. Scott, tell us about the ball game you just witnessed.
Well, it was 9-8 Carterville, as we all predicted. It was just a crazy game. DuPoint's defense was very, very good. Carterville couldn't run the ball all that well on them. I don't know when the last time Carterville did not score a touchdown in a game on offense, but it's probably been a while, I would guess.
Scott, since we weren't there, how did Carterville get their 9 points?
Okay. DuPoint throws a touchdown pass less than a minute to play in the first half. Goes for 2, misses it, so they're up 6-0. Then Carterville's Vaughn runs the kickoff back 88 yards for a touchdown. I believe the extra point was blocked, so it was 6-6 at the half. And then Carterville kicked a field goal, had first and goal at the DuQuoin 8, couldn't score and had to kick a short field goal. Later in the game, Carterville intentionally took a safety. They were deep and they wanted to be able to kick off, and so they took a safety, and they won it 9-8. DuQuoin had a ton of passing yards in the game and had a bunch of chances in Carterville territory in the last minute or two, and just couldn't get down quite far enough.
Hey, Scott, this is Justin here. First of all, how was DuQuoin able to bottle up Hicks and Bazillion for Carterville?
Well, they're big up front, and they just did. There was not a lot to say. Carterville runs Bazillion up the middle. He had one real nice run, but that was about it, and Hicks wasn't able to do much at all.
Hey, Scott, Jim Muir here. When you look at that Mississippi tonight, Sparta pulls the upset and knocks off Pinckneyville. DuQuoin pushes Carterville to the wire, and then you got Nashville and AJ in a shootout. That Mississippi's going to be pretty fun, looks like.
Oh, boy, trying to decide who's going to win the Mississippi games this year is going to be a chore. I mean, I wouldn't want to be betting any money on these games, I'll tell you that.
Hey, Scott, we always talk about it tonight, the Benton Rangers and Herrin Tigers. Herrin was heavily favored, but you always have to say, hey, that's why you play the games. It played out that way. Herrin was heavily favored, and they won 65-7. Everybody in Southern Illinois thought Carterville was going to go over to DuQuoin tonight and probably win by a couple touchdowns. And DuQuoin shows the resolve they have. And it's a 1-point game. It just shows that DuQuoin, even though they don't have the record this year, not an easy place to go over and win at.
This DuQuoin team is really strange. They were able to pass the ball pretty well. Carterville's defense did not allow them to run much at all. I mean, you could tell at halftime DuQuoin was going to have to pass the ball a lot to win. And it's a really unique DuQuoin team. You normally think of them as kind of a running the ball a lot unless you got Nick Hill or somebody quarterback. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting year for sure.
Speaking of interesting years, how about some of these other scores? How about Sparta? When's the last time Sparta was 3-1?
I don't know, but I know Fortis threw a late touchdown pass with 2 minutes to go, and it was important also that Sparta had a 4-point lead on Pinckneyville late because Pinckneyville's got the kicker that can really boot him. He's going to be a good one, sophomore.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We got to see that last week. His extra points, I know Jim and Justin talked about, he only kicked 4 extra points against Benton last week, but the Pinckneyville kicker was booming the ball about 20 yards through the uprights on his extra points. So, looking at the scores, we don't have a final yet. Nashville was beating AJ 34-28. Looking around, you see Murfreesboro beats Massac 65-20. Harrisburg gets a win 21-12 over West Frankfort. Herrin beats Benton 65-7. How about scores from the South 7? Anything stand out to you there with Centralia beating Carbondale 39-22? Or Althoff beating Mount Vernon 28-26? Or Marion coming back late and beating Cahokia 41-40?
Yeah, Travis, I was going to mention that game right there. Wasn't Cahokia up 2, maybe even 3 touchdowns early in the game, and then Marion comes all the way back and then scores late to win it?
Cahokia was leading most of the game. Yeah, Cahokia was leading most of that game. Marion scored late, just with a couple minutes to go, and was able to hold off. Cahokia moved the ball all the way down inside the 25 and stalled out. So a wild finish there. Scott, I know you cover the South 7 a lot as well. Anything stand out with those scores from the South 7?
The Marion Cahokia one does. That must have been a heck of a ball game. Marion did win that, didn't they?
Yes, 41-40. Marion wins 41-40. If you just look down, some of the games next week, just looking next week, Mount Vernon's got to go to Marion. Carbondale's going to go to Cahokia, and Althoff will be at Centralia. Centralia's rolling right now, folks. Centralia wins that game 39-22. And then you've got Mount Vernon's right there. They lose a tight one to Althoff. They go to Marion. You never know with the Mount Vernon-Marion game. And Carbondale's reeling a little bit. Carbondale drops one tonight. They're going to be at Cahokia. So the South 7, after 4 weeks, pretty interesting. I know this is the first week of conference play. But how about the Black Diamond tonight? Black Diamond, JC beats CZR 38-0. Cesar beats Hamco 40-15. Chester beats Carmi 41-18, and El Dorado goes out of conference to beat Fulton, Kentucky 42-6. Chester must be the real deal, guys.
Apparently so. I think I picked Carmi to win that one. The Black Diamond is kind of like everybody else. You don't really know what you're going to get. Chester giving up, what they give up to Chester, 36 points or something last week?
Yeah, last week they gave up, just looking back real quick here, they gave up 36 last week was the score. Chester 54-36. Chester won last week over Cesar. Scott, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate you coming on the show, and you were at the one of the marquee games. Scott, you're always at one of the marquee games at Scott Meese from the Southern Illinois, and tonight he was at the game where Carterville outlasted DuQuoin 9-8. Let me ask you this, Scott, before we drop you off here. Did you have a chance to talk to Coach Drust or Coach Martin after the game?
Yes, I talked to both of them.
What were their thoughts?
You know what? I was in such a hurry. I'll have to listen to the tape. Gosh.
That's a plug to buy the Southern Illinois newspaper tomorrow, right?
What? No, I'm thinking what they said, to be honest with you. Coach Martin basically just said, he was really happy with his defense. They played their hearts out, and really, when you're in the spot they were in, all you can ask for is a chance to win the game. And DuQuoin was down on the Carterville 30 in the final minutes. I mean, they had their chances. You can't ask for anything more. Drust was happy they got the win. Said that he knew DuQuoin was better than what some people had told him they were after watching them on film. All the Carterville coaches agreed DuQuoin was better than what their record would indicate, based on watching their game film from prior games.
Jim or Justin, any last comments for Scott?
Yeah, appreciate your time, Scott. We really do. I know you're on deadline to get some stuff done, so really appreciate you stopping by and visiting with us tonight. Thanks.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Scott Meese, sports writer from the Southern Illinois, and he was at a wild game tonight. I think that's kind of the term of the night, wild. Lots of games that you never would have predicted score-wise. Carterville beats DuQuoin 9-8. This is for Justin. Jim, just in. Cardinals 2, Reds 1. Cardinal Magic number 8, buddy.
Is that a final now, right?
That's a final.
All right, good deal.
Oh, man, that's great. I'm proud of you guys.
Hey, I'm just glad we won. We're going to take a break. I think we've got another caller to call in. You're listening to the fifth quarter here on WQRL. Travis Severin, Jim Muir, Justin Wyant alongside. We're going to take a break, come back with our next caller.
Hey, this is Coach Herrin. If you need screen printing, embroidery, plaques, or trophies, give the big man, Big Dave, a call at All Stars and Stitches in Benton, Illinois, 435-555-555.
All Stars and Stitches located at 418 East Main Street here in Benton. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. Our regular hours are Monday through Friday from 10 to 5. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. What was that number again, Coach?
435-555-555.
Pre-planning services with Leffler Polson Funeral Home may be as simple as recording one's biographical information, instructions, and wishes, or as detailed as selecting a casket and vault in advance. Whatever is discussed will be put in writing and kept in our files for use when needed. Financing may also be arranged in advance, and if you're uncomfortable meeting at the funeral home for planning, Marty will arrange to speak to you in the comfort of your own home. Call Leffler Polson Funeral Home at 438-0021 or request pre-planning information online at lpfuneralhome.com.
If you want a huge selection without a huge price, get to Weeks in Benton for the model year-end clearance event going on now. 2015s are arriving daily, so we must move all remaining 2014s. Find the vehicle you want at a price you can afford with 7 brands to choose from: Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Polaris, and Victory motorcycles. Now is definitely the time to buy, as there will be huge deals on all 2014 models. That's Weeks in Benton, north of town but south on the price.
Hi, I'm Travis Severin, sales manager for U.S. Bank Home Mortgage in Southern Illinois. We all know how important it is in football to have great coverage in your secondary, and we feel the same with U.S. Bank Home Mortgage. In Southern Illinois, if you're buying your first home or anything in between, we've got you covered. If you live in Southern Illinois, our team has you covered with Becky Clifton in Centralia, Karen Pelker in Mount Vernon, Nani Moore in Benton, and Kathy Lober and Carla Grant in Marion. With the variety of loan programs we offer, coverage is our specialty. U.S. Bank Home Mortgage is an equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back to the fifth quarter show on Q106.
Welcome back to the fifth quarter. One of our other proud sponsors of the fifth quarter, Skibo Family Eye Care, located at 4200 Ilberry Road in Mount Vernon. Skibo Family Eye Care offers full comprehensive eye exams, contact lens fitting and evaluation, pediatric and school requirement eye exams, retinal imaging and testing, and pre- and post-op management of cataracts and LASIK procedures, and a complete selection of glasses in a variety of styles at Skibo Family Eye Care. They are located at 4200 Ilberry Road in Mount Vernon. You can give them a call, 618-242-6338. That's 618-242-6338, or visit them online at skibofamilyeyecare.com. We're glad they are on the fifth quarter with us, and I think we've been joined by another caller here. Thanks for tuning into the fifth quarter. Who is this?
Hi, guys. Travis, Jim, this is John Shepard over at WHCO in Sparta.
John, WHCO in Sparta. Hey, John, come on now. How many years? Was it 1947, the last time Sparta was 3-1?
No, it hasn't been quite that long, but it sure seems that long. I think 1994.
47-94, similar. John,
yeah,
we talked to you last week, Sparta. We saw you guys in week 2. The Rangers were able to beat the Bulldogs, but you guys bounced back and beat Frankfurt last week. What a big, big win for the Bulldogs to win tonight over Pinckneyville. Pinckneyville was 3-0, Sparta 3-1. Coach Kirk's got it going for the Bulldogs.
Well, a couple of key elements in tonight's game, guys. Number one, Sparta played near-perfect defense. Really contained Pinckneyville quite nicely. Early field goal and one touchdown was basically all they could muster. And, of course, this is honestly the first game Sparta's been at 100% full strength. Devin Brown back in the lineup as a full-time receiver. He caught one of the touchdowns. Sean Rogers caught the one late to seal it. And, it's a celebration tonight in Sparta. 3-1. And, it really changes the complexion of the rest of the season, quite honestly.
Hey, John, Jim Muir here. One of the things stands out to me, you talk about the defensive effort. I mean, my concern in this game going in was after watching Pinckneyville last week with a stable of running backs, that is a near-perfect defensive effort to keep those guys contained.
Well, Jim, honestly, Pinckneyville couldn't run up the middle at all. And honestly, you guys had trouble running up the middle against the Bulldogs, too. And, when they forced Pinckneyville to be in a situation where they had to pass late, they really took advantage. The quarterback, Hoagland, for Pinckneyville, just really had a limited playbook later in the game because they were playing catch-up for most of the second half. But big game for Drew Cordes tonight. He really is proving to be one of the premier quarterbacks in Southern Illinois. It's truly unfortunate what happened to him in the off-season that, kind of took the first 3 games away from him, to be honest with you.
John, next week we got to talk about it with the big win tonight. You can never rest on your laurels for very long. We just got the final. Maury Bass, the voice of the Anna Jonesboro Wildcats, just sent me the text. He probably didn't want to send it. Nashville wins at AJ 34-28. The Hornets are 4-0. Nashville 34-28. They came back. They trailed 28-22 in that game, scored the last 12 points to win on the road. They held AJ the last 6 minutes, scoreless. 34-28. Nashville 4-0. Did you ever think week 5, Nashville and Sparta would be such a great game?
Well, it's the first meaningful game. We were talking about this before the Sparta-Pinckneyville game. We were trying to remember the last time a Sparta-Pinckneyville game meant so much, and we were going back to the mid to early 80s. The schedule's not easy for Sparta. You go to Nashville next week. They're going to be inspired coming off that win tonight. Obviously, DuQuoin the following week played much better tonight against Carterville. I know a lot of people in Southern Illinois, guys, have given up DuQuoin for dead, and it's a little bit too early to do that. Despite the loss tonight, they showed that they can play a much better brand of defense. And quite honestly, holding Carterville in check like they did tonight gives everybody else in the conference, a feeling that, hey, maybe this isn't like playing the Chicago Bears after all.
I think you're right about DuQuoin. I think one of the things that stand out to me is that DuQuoin loses to 5A Highland. They lose to this Herrin team we saw tonight, know how good they are, but they beat Harrisburg, and then they're right in the game with Carterville. So I think when you factor in who they've played the first 4 weeks, makes a big difference in what their record is.
Yeah, and also don't forget, Jim, you've got Al Martin stalking the sidelines there, and he's going to outcoach just about anybody he plays week in and week out. He's going to figure out a way for his team to be in the game. This, there's no such thing as moral victories. We know that. But for DuQuoin tonight, this is about as close as it comes. This really should be a huge confidence booster for them. Maybe asking a little bit much to pull off the upset, but at the same time, to make the final 9-8, I don't think anybody in Southern Illinois saw that coming tonight. I highly doubt anybody in Southern Illinois saw Sparta beating Pinckneyville. To be quite honest with you guys, we over here really kind of felt like we had a shot tonight. But it certainly is one of those games that you really feel good to have under your belt as a W, and you can look forward to the rest of the season with a lot of confidence. But back to DuQuoin, Jim, yeah, I wouldn't give them up for dead. Playoffs probably not a possibility this year for the DuQuoin Indians because they've got a rough enough couple of weeks ahead of them, too. But at the same time, there's certainly signs of life down in Titletown and DuQuoin.
Let me ask you this, John. John Shepard, voice of the Sparta Bulldogs. How was the crowd tonight? Because it's been a long time since a big-time game was played at Sparta when you're getting into week 4.
Guys are still there. They haven't left. This was alumni night at Sparta, and, of course, there's celebrations going on all over town. There's like 4 class reunions here this weekend. But it was electric. The first half, I'm going to be honest with you, it was tense. At halftime, Sparta led 6-3, and everybody was on pins and needles. And this thing just came down in the fourth quarter to who wanted it the most. And, Sparta just stepped up and said, okay, we want this win tonight, and they took it. And, in that fourth quarter, I haven't heard it that loud at Sparta. Man, you'd probably have to go back to the early 90s, back when, Sparta was a playoff-caliber team year in and year out, to go back to hearing a crowd that loud at Pierce Field. It's been an awful long time.
John, thanks so much for calling in. John Shepard, voice of the Sparta Bulldogs. Guys, any last thoughts for John before we let him off here and celebrate the big win for Sparta tonight as they won 13-9 over Pinckneyville?
Congratulations, John, to you and Sparta. Certainly a great start to the season. Appreciate you being with us tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jim, and we sure wish best of luck to the Rangers the rest of the way out. Hope you guys can kind of get things back on track. I do have one question. I never heard a final of the Harrisburg-West Frankfort game. Could you help me out with that?
21-12. Harrisburg won 21-12.
And you see, with my picks, I went the opposite way. I thought West Frankfort might pick up their first win of the year tonight, and I was wrong, as I was wrong about just about 90% of the games in Southern Illinois tonight.
You sound like Justin. Justin's always picking them wrong.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for having us on again, and we'll look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks, John. And I think we're going to get things going here. Before we do that, we can tell you that the fifth quarter is sponsored by Drake's Jewelry, located 1204 Public Square in Benton, is your hometown jewelry store, regardless of the occasion. Drake's Jewelry is the place to go for that special gift for that special person. That's Drake's Jewelry, your hometown jewelry store located on the east side of the Benton Public Square, where they have financing available 12 or 24 months and is the same as cash for qualified borrowers. Drake's Jewelry, helping bring you our fifth quarter program each week. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors here on the fifth quarter. And I think Scott Rice, now this is Scott Rice, not from Benton. I know Benton football fans might be thinking Scott Rice used to coach here in Benton, but this is Scott Rice, who is the color commentator for Carmi White County football. Scott, thanks for being a first-time guest here on the fifth quarter program.
Hey, not a problem. Appreciate you having me. Wish I had a better report as far as the Bulldogs went.
Hey, Scott, tell us about the game tonight. Carmi coming off a big win last week, a conference game tonight. We've talked about it. Brian Lee's done such a great job at Chester with that program since they've come from the Mississippi division of the River to River Conference to the Black Diamond. Never easy to go on the road. We said this also, Chester to Carmi. Supposedly Chester had to leave 3 weeks ago to get to Carmi to play tonight. Isn't that like a 400-mile drive?
I think it is, and it's about a 6-day trip. So you got to leave on Monday to get here for the Friday night.
But Scott, tell us about this.
It makes it an easier drive home when you go home with a win.
That game, your game seemed close. We were getting updates of the ball game. 28-18 was what we kept getting. How did Chester pull away in the last fourth quarter?
Well, it was our inability to get Chester off the field. We had them in several third down and long situations, and they just did a great job of play calling. Coach Lee, as you mentioned, he's one of the best coaches in the conference. He just does a great job with his offense, and they just kept getting first downs. And we gave up a couple scores late in the ball game that made it a little bit uglier than it really was. But Carmi actually had an 18-14 lead at halftime and couldn't muster any points in the second half. We were held to 30 yards and total offense in the second half, and Chester racked up 260. And I think probably the play that broke our back, it was another third and long, and Meyer broke a 68-yard screen pass. It was a great call. Caught the screen pass and then went 68 yards for the TD, and that put him up 28-18, and it was just all Chester from there.
And Scott, with this win tonight, Chester, and of course Fairfield still rolling along, have they established themselves in your mind as the two teams to beat in the Diamond now?
Oh, no doubt. Chester, they're not a real big team, but man, was I impressed with their speed and their quickness to the ball. We just never were able to really run the football tonight. We ran the opening kickoff back. Logan Weller ran it 85 yards for a touchdown to start the game. We held Chester to a 3-and-out, and then we put a 16-play drive together to score again to go up 12-zip. And we're feeling pretty good at the end of the first quarter. And Chester just put some nice drives together. And again, I go back to they're just a quick team. They execute extremely well.
Scott, this is Travis Severin here, back fifth quarter. If you're just tuning in, Scott Rice is the color commentator for the Carmi-White County football. The Bulldogs drop one tonight, 41-18. Interesting, I never heard that. You guys were up 18-14 at the half, and Chester rolls off 27 consecutive points to win that ball game, 41-18. Let me ask you this. The Black Diamond is such a tough conference, but the nice thing is with being a closed conference, you're always going to get a lot of points and a chance to make the playoffs. Always a big rivalry game. How about next week when Fairfield comes to Carmi?
That's always the best game of the year for us. A lot of good friends in Fairfield. The two towns are so close, and we played each other 200 times, I think, and we won 100 and they won 100. So that's just how even the rivalry is, and it kind of a must win for the Bulldogs as far as trying to compete for the Black Diamond Conference. But just talking to Coach Simon after the game, we thought Chester was fast. Well, Fairfield's faster. So that's really a big concern for the Bulldogs next week.
And I'm sure Coach Simon and the Bulldogs would love nothing better if the Coach Townsend and the Mules are able to win at Wyant tomorrow. At Wyant-Goreville, Fairfield would be 4-0 coming into Bulldog land next Friday.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. And then to set up that next, I tell you, I've been privy to these games. I graduated high school in '78, and I remember the Carmi Fairfield games back then were always great games, and you can kind of throw the records out the door when these two teams get together because they always bring their best efforts all season long. It's always really a exciting game. Last year's game goes to overtime. Carmi has a nice lead, and Fairfield fought back and ended up tying it and go overtime. So that's kind of what we expect next week.
Let me ask you this, Scott. One last question for you here. Are you any relation to Todd Rice?
Yes. He's my
please tell me that's not your brother.
brother.
Is that your brother?
Yes.
Oh my! You can never come on the fifth quarter again. Tell him, tell him Travis Severin said that.
There's always that black sheep in the family, and Todd's it, I'm afraid.
Oh no, Todd's a great guy. Just joking. You tell him Severin said that, he'll probably slam the phone down. All right. Well, hey, Scott.
I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the fifth quarter. That's Scott Rice. He's the color commentator for Carmi White County football. They drop one tonight, 41-18 to Chester. You're listening to the fifth quarter action. And Jim, Justin, are you still alive out there?
We are. And I just wanted to say, you've handed out the first lifetime ban on the fifth quarter tonight to Todd Rice. So, we want to stay in your good graces. Yes, we're here.
Oh, no, Todd's a great guy. He's selling cars, wheeling and dealing over there in Carmi. Oh, Scott's brother. But, the game you guys were at tonight, just kind of, if people are just tuning in, let me hit the final scores for everybody real quick. Everything has gone final now. Let's hit the finals for everybody. If you've just tuned in, you're listening to the fifth quarter show. Travis Severin here, Jim Muir, Justin Wyant, driving back from Herrin. They called the game, and I'm going to give you first. Herrin victorious over Benton 65-7. Murfreesboro 65-20 over Massac County. Harrisburg 21-12 over West Frankfort. Nashville 34-28 over Anna Jonesboro. Sparta 13-9 over Pinckneyville. Carterville 9-8 over DuQuoin. Johnson City 38-0 over Christopher Ziegler Royalton. Cesar-Valere, Waltonville Woodlawn 40-15 over Hamilton County. Chester 41-18 over Carmi White County. El Dorado 42-6 over Fulton, Kentucky. Centralia 39-22 over Carbondale. Belleville Altoff 28-26 over Mount Vernon. And Marion 41-40 over Cahokia. Another game of area importance. Breeze Mater Dei beats Mount Carmel. Wow, tongue-tied. Breeze Mater Dei beats Mount Carmel 40-33. And a game tomorrow, Fairfield trying to go 4-0. Fairfield is at Vienna Goreville tomorrow. So that's all the finals. Guys, going back to the game you covered tonight, Herrin, guys, when's the last time you've seen a team that good offensively?
We talked and compared it to the Benton team back in the late '90s, early 2000s with Alec Wissinger and Jason Harvey and Travis Dixon. That's what the three running backs remind me of. That they've got three guys back there they can pitch the ball to, and they run so hard. And then, of course, Merrill is just. I was impressed not only with the way he runs, but he's got some speed to go along with that, and he's got a little outside step there that hits another gear, and he runs really hard. So, and then of course Gosha and Milner. So they're just the real deal. They got they're well coached. They've got the great kicker. I wouldn't be surprised to see Herrin make a little run in 4A.
Yeah, speaking of 4A, they're looking really, really good as they win tonight, beat Benton 65-7. It was 58-0 at halftime. Herrin was leading over Benton. On the other side of the coin, where does Benton go from here, guys?
That's a great question, and I think that's one that's going to be. There's a lot more questions out there than there are answers right now. They make the quarterback change tonight in the middle of the game, middle of the first half, and that's a huge move at this point in the season, I think. And so, I asked the question in the postgame, could there be more changes? And Coach Clodfelder answered very quickly, yes, there will be more changes. So, I think it's really interesting. I think you add in the fact that your cross-county rivals coming in next week for a Saturday game. They've got an extra day to work with this week because of that Saturday afternoon game. So, I think the intrigue is high right now with Benton about what happens. This could kind of be a make or break point of the season. Benton could go either one of two ways, and they could rebound with some games they got a chance, I think, to win. West Frankfort, Harrisburg, Massac, you got to believe they're in those games. AJ also. But on the other hand, they could lose any of those games. So I think it's really a crucial point in the season for Benton.
Did Coach Clodfelder ever say either way if Page was his starter for the rest of the season, or was it just tonight?
He did not say, what direction he would go, but he did have high praise for the freshman in the post game, talking about that he thought he came in and made some things happen. So I would not be surprised. I would not be
shocked. In fact, I probably would be shocked if it went another way. I would think Page will be your starter next Friday or next Saturday. I think Clodfelder kind of gave that indication tonight in the post game.
And I was texted by several people while you guys were doing the broadcast. I don't know if this ever came up for sure or if Claude ever said it, but Rock was not hurt. They just changed quarterbacks, correct?
He, in the post game, Coach Clodfelder told us he felt like that he had a conversation with Caleb Rock prior to the game, that there were certain things he expected, and he said that some of those things he didn't feel like the junior was doing, and so he made the move to make the change.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because people are asking, hey, is he hurt? Did something happen? But hey, that's why he's the coach and he's paid to make decisions. He made that decision. We'll see next week. Benton, it's a Saturday game. The big Franklin County Showdown next Saturday. It'll be the Benton Rangers and the West Frankfort Redbirds right here at Tabor Field in Benton. Remember, next Friday night for the fifth quarter, we will be live from Applebee's. We actually get to be at home. If you want to come out to the show next week at Applebee's, we'll hit the air sometime after 9 o'clock when finals start coming in. But Jim Muir, Justin Wyant, and myself, Travis Severin, will be out at Applebee's. It's going to be weird, guys, to be back out at the Bees.
It'll be a lot of fun out there. We look forward to heading back out there again, and we invite folks to come out. We'll be on the air about around 9 o'clock or so, 9:15ish, and have a full slate of games and interviews again.
Travis, the thing with this week coming up, and you know it as well as I do, when you play West Frankfort, who is 6 miles south, you're going to get a football game. I don't care what the records are. We could be going into that one 4-0 and them 0-4. It's just one of them weekends where it's just going to be a battle all day long. And I wouldn't be surprised if I opened up the paper Friday morning and a few of the Southern guys have picked Frankfort. You know, Benton's giving up a lot of points, and Frankfort's scoring some, and they're not giving up a ton. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're favored. Benton's got to come to play, or they're going to lose the old traveling trophy for the first time in 6 years.
Yeah, you're right. I was just thinking about that. Frankfort loses tonight, but they lost a tight one to Sparta last week. That doesn't look as bad as Sparta was 3-1 now. They do lose to Harrisburg tonight, but hey, you know, Harrisburg's 1-3. Harrisburg's played a super tough schedule, 21-12. Guys, we are going to take a quick break, though, and come back. Les Winkler from the Southern Illinoisan is on. We're going to take a break here in the fifth quarter, come back and get Les's thoughts from the game he was at tonight. You're listening to the fifth quarter, back right after this.
If you want a huge selection without a huge price, get to Weeks in Benton for the model year-end clearance event going on now. 2015s are arriving daily, so we must move all remaining 2014s. Find the vehicle you want at a price you can afford with 7 brands to choose from. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, Polaris, and Victory Motorcycles. Now is definitely the time to buy, as there will be huge deals on all 2014 models. That's Weeks in Benton, north of town but south on the price.
Hey, this is Coach Herrin. If you need screen printing, embroidery, plaques, or trophies, give the big man, Big Dave, a call at All Stars and Stitches in Benton, Illinois, 435-555-555.
All Stars and Stitches located at 418 East Main Street here in Benton. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. Our regular hours are Monday through Friday from 10 to 5. We're located a half a block from the Benton High School. What was that number again, Coach?
435-555-555.
Renley College's Adult Volunteer Literacy Program is looking for volunteers to help stop adult illiteracy. Give the gift of reading and be a hero forever. Renley College will provide you with training and materials to help adults develop the basic reading ability needed to excel. You can work one-on-one, tutor a small group, or work with students in an adult education classroom. Experience the joy of helping others and change a life. Call Renley College's Volunteer Partnership toll-free at 800-369-5321, extension 1342.
Back to the fifth quarter show on Q106.
Welcome back to the fifth quarter. Travis Severin here in studio from WQRL in Benton. Les Winkler from the Southern Illinoisan. Second consecutive week for Les. We appreciate him coming on the show. Les, thanks for joining us tonight.
Not a problem, guys. Thanks for having me.
Les, talk to us about the game that you attended tonight.
Murfreesboro won 65-20, and if possible, it probably wasn't as good a game as it sounds. Murfreesboro just dominated the entire night. They never had to punt the ball. I think they had 536 yards of total offense. It was just a very dominating performance.
Les, let me ask you this about the dominating performance. It was 65-20 was the score. Murfreesboro loses a tight game at Carterville last week, seeing this Murfreesboro team in person, was it your first time to see them in person this year?
Yeah, I haven't seen him before.
Tell me about that offense.
Well, they've got the 3 or 4 running backs. Hoppestead ran for about 94 tonight. Colliver ran for about 87. Deshaun Battles only touched the ball twice and had 2 touchdowns for 93 yards. And Clay Rendleman, their bread and butter guy, had about 70. And then Braden Miller was 5 or 6 passing. So they did not miss a beat tonight.
Hey, Les, Jim Muir here. I certainly don't want to overlook tonight's games and jump too far ahead, but certainly it brings up a big game next week. Murphy scores 65 tonight. Herrin scores 65 tonight, and those 2 teams are going to meet next week at Murfreesboro. So a huge game in the Ohio Division next week.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one. I wish I could be there, but I'm not going to be able to be there. But man, that's going to hit. If you like to see running football, that will be the place to be, because there's going to be a stable of running backs there that maybe the best. I'm sure it'll be the best collection of backs in Southern Illinois.
Hey, Les, let me. Here's the thing funny about football. We've all been watching football for years. You've been covering it for years. The great running attacks that Herrin has and Murfreesboro has. Every time we think a game, both these teams have been putting up big points this year. It'll probably be a game next week where it's like, Carterville and DuQuoin 9-8. Everybody else is going to think it's going to be a 42-35 shootout. It'll probably be 9-8 and 1 on a 37-yard field goal.
And, that's possible, and that's the fun of running football. I mean, good defenses can stop the run, and both teams will eat up some clock. So I really don't look for a real high-scoring game, but I think it's going to be very competitive.
And I think, too, one of the things we talk about the great running backs both teams have. We watched Herrin tonight, and Gavin Pickle, the quarterback, I thought did a great job. He's got some receivers, too. The Haynes kid, that's their place kicker, Josh Haynes. I believe DJ Spell is a big receiver at about 6'3". So Herrin has got the running backs, but they've also can put the ball up, and I thought Gavin Pickle. So we always say, well, this could be a great game for the running backs, but who knows? Maybe the quarterbacks win it with their arm next week.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, they're going to be thinking to stop the run first. So if they put a bunch of people up in the box, it might open up the passing game. And I really like the Miller kid from Murfreesboro, because he does a really nice job of throwing on the run. They roll him out a lot, and he manages to get himself set before he releases the ball, and really delivers the ball.
Anything that Coach Carter said after the game that stands out to you, Les, when you were interviewing him?
Well, it sounds funny in retrospect, but he talked about an emotional letdown that they had from the tough loss last week, and it did take them. It did take them most of the first quarter to get going.
And that's a big deal. I mean, for high school kids, you lose a tough game. I'm sure they would like to have been undefeated going into Massac County tonight, but obviously, last week they lost a tough game to Carterville. How about some of these other scores, Les? Obviously, have you had a chance to hear all the scores we've given?
No, I really haven't heard much. I knew Herrin won big, and I knew Carterville squeaked it out, but I really don't know a lot else.
Carterville, squeaks out against DuQuoin. Nashville's undefeated still. Nashville scores 2 touchdowns late to beat AJ. Nashville 34-28 over AJ. Sparta beat Pinckneyville. Sparta beat Pinckneyville 13-9. So Sparta's 3-1. Pinckneyville's 3-1. Cessna-Valliere got their first win over Hamco 40-15. Chester's undefeated still. Chester won 41-18 over Carmi. El Dorado beat Fulton County. Kentucky. JC beat CZR. Harrisburg beat West Frankfort 21-12. Obviously, we know Herrin and Massac both won. Centralia beat Carbondale 39-22. Altoff beat Mount Vernon 28-26. Marion comes back in a shootout, beats Cahokia 41-40. They hold on the last minute, beat Cahokia 41-40. So that's kind of the scores from the Deep South. Any games stick out to you besides the one you were at?
The Mississippi games are kind of interesting, aren't they? Who would have bet on Sparta being 3-1 at this point? And Nashville turning it around. That's those are 2 interesting scores.
Jim or Justin, anything less? Here last with Les, as we appreciate. I know he's got a deadline to write a story tonight for the Southern. Anything lastly you could say for Les Winkler?
Hey, just appreciate your time, Les. That's a tough drive down to Massac County, and then you got radio hacks wanting you to come on and talk about the game. So we appreciate the effort on your part tonight.
Well, the story's already filed. I'm just trying not to dodge any deer on the way home.
Absolutely. Thank you much, Les.
Not a problem. Have a good night, guys.
At Les Winkler, longtime avid outdoor writer and sports writer for the Southern Illinoisan, and that's kind of guys. As we'll kind of wrap up the show tonight, the fifth quarter here been brought to you on by. It's been a long night here on WQRL. We thank everybody that's been with us. Jim, Justin, why don't you guys give last kind of parting shots before we get out of here? It's almost 10:30. It's been a long night. You guys sat through a long game tonight as the Rangers were defeated pretty handily, 65-7 to the Herrin Tigers. Give me your thoughts before we get out of here. I know tomorrow morning, Saturday morning, talking sports. Jim, who do you have lined up?
Well, we got Todd Hefferman for sure, who'll be on his way to West Lafayette, Indiana, where SIU takes on Purdue. We know he'll be with us. Scott Wurz will be with us. We'll have Coach Claude Felder. I'm going to try and catch Sparta coach Rob Kirk. Obviously, we're going to try and highlight some of the other games around the area. We may try and get Coach Carter and Coach Carnes on tomorrow morning to talk a little bit about preview that Murphy matchup against Herrin next week. A couple parting shots. Chester goes to 4-0 with a win on the road at Carmi, White County. I can't say enough good things about what Brian Lee has done with that program. And another program that stands out to me right tonight after the games, Centralia at 4-0 with a win at Carbondale tonight. You know, you think a coach doesn't make a difference in turning the program around. We remember when Centralia went they had one of the longest losing streaks in the nation. They went for years without winning. And Ray Calling has turned that. They're 4-0, and they have really turned that program around. So I don't think you can overemphasize enough what kind of a job he's done there at Centralia to take a basketball town and put it on the football map.
Exactly right. Well said. Justin, anything lastly from you?
Yeah, I just want to add to that. I'm going to be interested to see a couple games. The Sparta-Nashville game, I think that's going to be a good one. Herrin and Murphy, that's going to be a good one. Those two games right there might tell the story in both those divisions. And also, how's Benton going to react Saturday after the 65-7 beatdown over at Herrin? It can go one of two ways, Travis. I'm not going to go into which ways it could go. I think everybody out there knows what I'm talking about. I just hope Benton shows up and we compete next week against our rivals, West Frankfort.
Couple other games that stick out to me. Altoff at Centralia. Altoff wins one at Mount Vernon tonight. And how about Mount Vernon Marion? That game might be 73-59. You never know. It's always crazy games when Mount Vernon and Marion play. But lots of action. DuQuoin at Pinckneyville. You got AJ at Carterville, Herrin at Murphy, Fairfield at Carmi. Should be a great Week 5. Week 4 pretty much in the books. There's one more game tomorrow, Fairfield at Vienna-Goreville. But I'm going to wrap up the show for us tonight. Thanks so much to Ashley and Dylan. Dylan's our intern here, and Ashley did a great job. She's teaching him the ropes. We appreciate them tonight. They've been here all night long getting all the phone calls, helping check all the scores for us. Ashley does a great job here for all the fine folks at WQRL here at the Dana Communications. I'm going to say so long for Justin Wyant, Jim Muir. I'm Travis Severin. Thanks so much for tuning into the fifth quarter. Have a great week.